We are up. We are live. We need to send out the black signal. What's going on, family? What's going on? Told y'all around 7. I didn't say 7 exactly. I said around 7. Well, I rolled up. I said, man, I'm going to lay back down. I got an opportunity. Let me lay back down for a second. I got a lot of work that I got to do today. I got to get very creative and come up with something. And so just chilling. But yo, how y'all doing this great day? This is Ujamaa. Man, the week is moving fast, and a lot of us, well, at least in Ohio, we're stuck in the house. Let me send out this black signal. Let me send out the black signal so that the family knows. Those that want to get on the black signal, all you got to do, at least for the Daily Toaster, if you want to be on the Daily Toaster list, the hardcore list, right? You have to type in toaster, text toaster to 77292. Once again, text toaster to 77292, and I will put you on the list. Right now it says we are streaming on 4, at least I am able to get in contact with 4 out of 6 sites. We are up on Periscope, we are up on Stream.me, and we are up on both Facebook pages, which is kind of good. So let's look at the chat here. So that means that the YouTubes aren't producing yet, but we're gonna do our toast and talk. Okay, the black signal just went out. Toast and talk. Want to call in 614-556-4535. Boom. Put it out. Well, it said it went to the YouTube channel, but I don't see how it went to the YouTube channel when we're not actually streaming on the YouTube channel yet. Alright. Oh, now we're streaming on a YouTube channel. Alright. We got one person on Gye-Nyame Journey. Great looking out. Good to see you this morning. So it went out on, but it said I'm only connected to 4 out of 6. Wonder why that is. Let's see. Oh, it's not up on this is cold. Sometimes it's cold stuff. So I'm not up on the Facebook yet. Alright, so I'm going to take care of that. So let me make sure that I'm not neglecting my family on Facebook. I need to go and pull up my Hootsuite. Oh, here we go with that bullshit. Alright, so let me go and get that together. So, we are live on Spreaker as well. Don't want to neglect Spreaker. The Spreaker fam, y'all out there. Get that anime screen. There y'all go. Y'all get that screen. Cause that's the Phoenix Force, right? Alright. So, also, since it's not streaming live on streaming live on Facebook, but the chat is not open yet. I'm opening up both Facebooks. Oh, okay, there you go. I'm about to say, I know this is not school. I don't have Facebook block. We grown folk around here, at least on my thing, right? So let's check Hootsuite. I want to make sure I ain't missing none of y'all texts, so I can respond properly. All right, great. Ujamaa to you as well, brother Kwame. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I came up. So I can make sure I see everything that my people post up. So, yep. Facebook is still down, so I have to go back and I have to check on Facebook between these two. That's crazy. That's literally crazy, right? Because it's like you pay for stuff and you can't. You know, it's like, man, come on, give me a break. Give me a break, right? So hold on. Oh no, that's the one for Gye-Nyame Journey. I don't want to be on the one for Gye-Nyame Journey on my page. I want to be on the one for my page. So I need to go here. Give me one more second, family, and we get into the song and move out of here. There we go. We are on episode 1223. Episode 1223. Oh, I said around 8 a.m. I might have sent out 2 different messages. Is it 8? Goddamn, it's 8. I thought it was 7. Alright. Goddamn. Okay, around 8 a.m. That's what the text say. Alright. So I was right on time. I guess I'm cool, right? So, alright. So now I'm able to watch and see everything that pops up. Alright. So family, once again I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Mixing it up a little bit. I like that, girl. I like that. Right? This is a Heart of a Simple production. Of course, you know this is the Daily Toast, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. It don't sound as loud as it used to, you know? That's not cool.
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Oh, man. Or should we say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Grab your glass for some water. Get your bottle of that water. Twist the cap off that water. Lift and pour your water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, lift, pour, then drink. Don't put the top on, yeah. Grab your, move your body, drink some water. Stretch. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Just move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, move, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, drink. Breathe, eat. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Let's drink it. 35 seconds. 33, 32. Drink your water. Wow. This is going to be our last 50 ounce for a while. So I went to the store to go buy the 50 ounces. I guess they caught wind that I wanted them. So there wasn't that in the store. I ain't going to take it personal. You know what I'm saying? But I went to the store and all of a sudden they wasn't there. And I can't help but to think conspiracy. Then I went to the lasagna, and all the veggie lasagna was gone. I dare not say conspiracy. You know what? You feel me? I feel like it's something going on, right? But really, the water aisle was not looking good. And I went to 2 stores. I went to Whole Foods, then I had to go to Kroger's, right? So I had to go to Kroger's to get the old ones that I was getting before, because when I went to Whole Foods, every last one of the waters that I was getting was gone. So then, they had nothing I wanted up there today. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Is this something I'm not aware of? Is something going on that anybody out there know what's going on? Is there something going on that I need to be worried about? I'm just saying, is it something that we need to really be worried about? No? Okay, cool. So we just gone and we hit this toast. Once again, I'm letting y'all know that the lines are open. Lines are open. Well, not yet. I'm not going to, let's do the toast first. Then I give a little bit of time with some music, and then if people want to come on the lines, we can. If not, I understand, because it is kind of late. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are at work, and they believed it was too cold for the children again. So at the crib, I have to get ready for rock and roll call, and so I'll spend some of this day doing that. But we still are able to have our conversation if anybody is free enough to call in and want to have a talk. I already posted the number up on YouTube. Let me post the number up on Spreaker. Call in. Y'all got to excuse me because Spreaker is a little bit more complicated when I don't have it on the computer. Call in 614. Where the dash at? Where the dash? God damn it, should be a dash on dash 556 dash 4535. Bow. Alright. But it is some stuff in the news that I did pick up this morning that I want to kind of talk about here, because it's kind of, I don't know if it's good or bad, but who am I? As Nabu said, there's extremely old soul in this girl, but who is Nabu to judge these type of things? You got to be, you got to be a DC fan and know what the fuck I'm talking about on that one. All right. Come on. God. Good grief. All right. So, I'm trying to get the news up. There we go. All right. So, first one. Bow. Oh, now it ain't going to click. There we go. I hope it opened up another window. And I got another one. Let me pull that up too. So now this is kind of cool, man. This is kind of cool. But so I'm looking on the thing. You know, I'm not a big concert goer and stuff like that. But Beyonce and Jay-Z concert tickets for a life contest asked you to try going vegan. The couple recently advocated for veganism in the introduction to a new cookbook. Tonight, Beyonce and Jay-Z announces the Green Print Project, a new contest to allow fans a chance to win a lifetime of Bey and Jay concert tickets if they commit to a vegan diet plan. Find Beyonce's Instagram post detailing the sweepstakes below. I'm not all that into that like that. But just for those, if there is anybody here on the journey that is Jay-Z and Beyonce crazy, you know what I'm saying? That sounds like a good deal, you know. I know by next week motherfuckers gonna be like, eat all the meat you can, because if Jay-Z and Beyonce is talking about being a vegan, it has to be a trick. So start eating up all the meat that you can. I'm not going to do that. That ain't my style. I'm going to leave that for those people out there like that, right? But for those that like it, that article was on a site called Pitchfork. How appropriate. Pitchfork. The name of it was Pitchfork. Alright, let's see if I got any more, because I want to make sure I'm staying up on my comments. Alright. None there. Alright. Let me go back over to... Alright. So... now, I'm not connected on none. What's going on here? Let me reset it. This is going to blank it out for a little while, family. So, that's just how it goes. Alright, so, first, giving honor to the creator by whatever name you choose to call the creator. We lift up our glass, and we say, Ashe. Once again, it's only 4 out of 6. So I wonder why it's not reaching Facebook. So, from there, family, we move to the stars of the show. Outside of yourselves. We call on Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Texas Davis, Herb Brown C, Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Christopher Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman L, No More X, Pat Ma, Rob, Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley and the Luxor brother, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend J. Smith, Lois Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Flores M. Carter, Joanne Thorne, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, May Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Banks, May Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hallie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Didymon Ayers, Jean and Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Parrish, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFritis Hines, Inez Bostic and the Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Headley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooding, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Eda Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nayland Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harry, Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Annie No Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Professor Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Manella, Alvis Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earleton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Dan Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Jaban McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shechem Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Broaders, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Kofer, George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. Going to our book, Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, and Elder Shaka McNair, and Anthony Brown. Just checking to make sure there's no new ancestors on the list, because you do have the ability to add. Let's see. No. Can you see Facebook? Yeah, I can see it right now. Used to like Jay in the 90s. Folks panicking because of the weather. Yep. Oh, you talking about as far as the water. Yeah. Only my water was gone. That's why I'm saying conspiracy. None dare call it conspiracy. Right? Only my water was gone. Not everybody else's. All the other water was there. But my water was gone. Just messing with you. All right. But so it's a pleasure to read out the ancestors' names once again. My fault. Where we at? Shouts out to Sister Cynthia. Thank you for joining us. Of course, shouts out to Brother Kwame. Let's see, who else? Anybody else? Nope. All right. According to Restream, even though the chat is not active, I don't understand that shit, right? They tell me, how many viewers you got and all that. So we lift up our glass to our ancestors. We say Ashe. From there, where do we go? Family, we go to the present moment. In the moment is our power. In the moment is where we make our pledge, where we make our pact with our ancestors, as well as our future generation, because we got to handle business in the now. Because this was crazy, right? The way things are going now, if we don't handle our business in the now, they will erase our ancestors. I mean, we really need to think about this. This is what revisionist history is about. You know what I'm saying? They go in and they'll change it. Like, I'm understanding in certain southern states, right? They don't say slavery no more. They call them immigrants. Workers. They're erasing us out of history, family. You know what I'm saying? They cleaning it up, right? So that, what you niggas complaining about? We all immigrants. Family. I'm trying to get Gye-Nyame ready so that when we run into people like that, you know what I'm saying? You give them a verbal ass whooping. Nah, dog. Nah, hold on. Back it up. We ain't come. Because y'all didn't. If you did know, y'all didn't come through New York. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't sail past the Statue of Liberty and shit. Y'all, when you was selling in here, Statue of Liberty was not there. You know what I'm saying? It was, they couldn't afford to put it there. You know what I'm saying? Till you came, right? The capital, right? The money maker. You know what I'm saying? We got to be clear about this shit, right? Because they will write us out of history. Like I said, do not allow people to take our people and be like, y'all was immigrants. Shit. All right, there's a couple of qualifications that come with the immigrant thing. Like, first off, wanting to come, right? First thing, right? Wanting to come. Choosing to come. Right? Come on now. Right? So then, like, there's an article that I saw also this morning that hit on this piece because, a lot of times they like with Sally Hemings, they say that Sally Hemings was Jefferson's mistress. I want that to soak in. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with that? Sally Hemings was Jefferson's mistress. Come on now, somebody. Because, you know, I run with an intelligent bunch. Somebody point out, please, tell me what's wrong with that. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that statement? Anybody. Because I'm gonna let that one sit there for a minute. Because this is what I mean by if we don't handle our business in the present, we'll lose our past, and in a sense we surrender our future. See, we ain't got time to be fucking around. We ain't got time to be playing. We have to get down and dirty in the moment. We got to hustle. Like I said, the hustle builds muscle. We got to get and we got to do it, family. We got to do some serious nation building. We got to do some serious cultural stabilization. We got to take care of ourselves, because if not, they will erase us out of history. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, since nobody posting up, what's the problem with calling Sally Hemings Jefferson's mistress? Well, first off, she was Jefferson's property. Mistresses are owned. So he could have did anything with her. He could have had sex with her and put her in the field the next day. Put her in front of a plow if he wanted to. Might have. That might have turned them on. I don't know. I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, we got to be careful when if we don't handle our business right now, they will erase our entire past. This is one of the reasons, like I said, I wanted to start saluting our personal ancestors, because I started understanding that a lot of us start jumping right past our personal ancestors and moving to the big names. And I'm like, nah, dog, we need to look at Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? We need to really start reconnecting back to who we are and connecting back to our, because it's like we're starting to forget. And as time moves on, the more we forget, the less we have to give to our children. So I want my children to be able to go back 6 generations. And I want them to understand why we are in the position we are in and what they need to do in the present moment. Because it don't seem quite right, Pops. We gotta have those discussions. If not, they're going to erase us right out of history. And if they erase us out of history, we lose a major, we lose the thing upon which we're standing. When they start erasing and changing history, they change the foundation of the ground of the times. And what I mean by that is that we won't have anything to stand on. They can write us out of history. Oh, they are where they are just because they was lazy. When you know people that was working 3 jobs. Come on now. You know people that's working 2 and 3 jobs and can't get ahead. Come on now. We think it's like that because we don't got no work ethic? Are you serious? Come on now. Oh, give me a break. All right, so we salute in this moment. And in this moment right now, we are in Ujamaa. I'm asking everybody to activate your reticular formations, family. I want you to get out there. A mistress is a willing participant in the relationship between the 2 of them. She was forced. You know, can you add my ancestor, Jonathan Ford? Yes, I can. Uh-oh, somebody waiting in Uber conference. It's popping up. All right, give me a second. All right, give me a second on Uber. Let me go on. I'm gonna open it up. But give me a second. Check 1, check 2. All right.
This call is being recorded.
Great day, somebody on the line.
Good morning, it's Cynthia. I didn't know if you could hear or see my comments on Facebook.
Yeah, cause I gotta go back and forth. So I just went back. I'm writing down your ancestor right now.
Oh, okay.
So, somebody else is on the line. Who else on the line?
Wait, see, low.
What's up, man?
What's happening? Yeah.
I'm almost finished with this toast, and we get into the conversation. And like I said, we take it in the direction y'all want to go. You know. So we are in Ujamaa. I'm asking everybody to activate your reticular formation and look for Ujamaa in the community. We hunting Ujamaa today. Cooperative economics, for those that don't speak the language. The modern principle of reciprocity. The M7 that we teach is gratitude. The color is green. I don't have my green cert right now, but I do have it available. We have polarity as the hermetic law today. Male name for the day is Yah. Female is Yah. All right? So we lift up our glass to salute this moment, and we say Ashe. From there we move into our children's children, on to infinity. Because if we don't handle our business, they won't have nothing to stand on. We are the fertilization. We are the fertilizer for our future generations. We are the dust that make the bricks upon which they stand. You know what I'm saying? So, family, we got to handle our business. We lift up our glass. We say Ashe. From there, family, we move to all of our relations. We say Ashe. From there, we move to this is your moment. This is your selfish toast. I raise my glass to you once again. What is it that you need in this moment? We say Ashe. Last but not least, I salute the most magnificent, powerful, beautiful, inspiring individual in the room, and it just happens to be you. Stop looking around. I'm talking to you. Accept it, love it, embrace it, and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, family, we can get this conversation popping. Y'all see how I got through it. Once the family called in, I had to rush through it. They done knocked me, my computer done knocked me off again. I'm back up. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
This conference is being recorded by the organizer.
Hello? Can y'all hear me now?
Welcome back.
Yeah, man. Y'all better stop. Somebody kicking me off. I don't like it.
It's that good juju.
Man, y'all need to... Oh, before we go any further, tonight we have a show. And this one is Tribal Quotes. The quotes for this week are from day 58. And here we go. They who await no gifts from chance have conquered fate. That's Matthew Arnold. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. Mohandas Gandhi. We're going to talk about that one. Shit. That which did not shut... Huh?
You giving options?
Oh, no. This is for tonight. This is for tonight.
That's all one?
Huh? No, that was no. The first one is, they who will wait no gifts from chance have conquered fate. That's number one. Matthew Arnold. The second one is, nobody can hurt me without my permission. That's from Mohandas Gandhi. The third one is, that which did not shout for help but waited patiently died in the trap. God damn. That's from Kenya.
Those who did, say that last one again.
That which did not shout for help but waited patiently died in the trap. Ooh,
okay.
Ooh. It's going down tonight. Cause that look, all three of those are good, but that last one, it describes our situation. I can't wait till 9 o'clock. I'm gonna listen. Y'all better, tell your family, tell your friends. I'm gonna tear that motherfucker up. Y'all better listen. It's going down tonight, right? Because that shit right there is the solution for black folks right now. That last one. Oh man, it should have. Oh, I'm hyped now. Y'all should have told me. No, don't.
Can I just say something real quick that just
ahead.
came to my mind?
Go ahead.
from the scribe.
Go ahead.
He who does not confess his limitation to the divine head cannot begin the process of fulfillment.
Oh man, are you quoting from the African openers to the Tree of Life? God, it's a wait. Oh my God, he quoting from the African openers to the. Oh my God. Well, hold on, they can't hear you, man. We celebrating over here, dog. Listen, I could die now. I could die. See, y'all don't understand. I could die now. Shit. I got niggas quoting from the African Open, Tree of Life. I could just go and lay it down. I'm about to lay it down. My revolutionary days are done. I done did my part. So, all right, family. For those that don't know, that's one of the major books of Gye-Nyame. Even though we don't throw it out all that often, but that's one of the major books that really help establish a lot of stuff that we do. I got it up here. I know I got it up here. There you go. That's the African openings to the Tree of Life. If you're interested to get a copy, if you go to GyeNyameJourney.com on your computer, if you go on your computer and you look on the right-hand side, we have a book list on the side. This is the first book to get. This is, in a sense, this holds a lot of the philosophy, a lot of the way that we look at the world for Gye-Nyame. This motherfucker's a life changer. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it balances out. Like when I'm looking at the 48 laws of power, and I'm looking at all this right here. If it don't lines up with this, I don't fuck with it. All right,
The best part of it is you don't even have to read the whole book. I still ain't never read all of them. You can just pick it up and read one and marinate on it for a day, for a week.
For a week. Shit, I've been marinating on some of those for years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh. Like you said, just open it up at random. Boom, boom, boom. But what's even colder about it is that it's actually 2 books in one.
Right.
And it take you looking at it about 3 times to really understand what I mean. It's 2 books in one. Oh my God. And then the bibliography is just, look how big this book is. 2 books in one with a dope ass bibliography if you ever really want to do some research on African philosophy. Give me a fucking
I'm about to walk into the crib. I'm about to walk into my room. I wish I had cameras so you could see. Because I'm talking on the line. I'm not looking at the video, but I can tell that you just picked it up, which means you had it somewhere very accessible. It's the same. It's in my room. It's one of the first things you're going to see when you walk in my room.
Listen, the book is Cold-Blooded, family. Listen, if you don't get nothing else from Gye-Nyame, check out that book. That book, right? Nothing but proverbs. No strategy. Well, yeah, it does have strategy. You just got nothing but proverbs. Nothing but proverbs. Just real quick, like for example, I open it like he just said one right now. I'm gonna open up one and I say, okay. Human beings are related like everything else to everything else, to every other part of creation. That is, to every other aspect of the cosmos. Energy is always alive, radiating and vibrating to some degree. All existence interacts and is interconnected by this activity of energies, say the knowledge holders. Shit, I can sit up there and boom, boom, boom. I can scribe on that one for a long time. I can scribe that one down. I can sit down. I can write my thoughts on that one and boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden in my life, something happens where that shit clicks. Clicks. So, yeah. But, yeah, so we got news about Jay-Z and Beyonce are promoting veganism. We have, we got the folk tale from earlier this week. If some people have comments that they want to do, we got the revisions in history that are popping up all around us, and if anybody, you know what I'm saying, that we have to really pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people just letting this shit slide right by him. Because like I do, family, we have to be ever vigilant and constantly researching so that we can go in and add more information to history and not allow them just to put one thing in and take another thing out. Because it don't benefit us. It don't benefit us at all. Somebody else joined us on the line. What's up?
Yeah, Kwame.
What's up, Kwame? What's going on?
You know, you ain't read my posts and stuff, so I guess I just got to come on and say what I need to say. So
I told you I can't see the damn post. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, man. None dare call it conspiracy, right?
None dare call it conspiracy. You right. Bet not.
All right.
No, I don't see no. Listen, not really. I don't see no. The only one I got from you is great Ujamaa fam. That's it. And then I got Cynthia's. But go ahead. I'm gonna try to fix that right now. Go ahead.
All right. So this coming Imani, February 3rd of this year, at 11 o'clock in the morning, as many black brothers as we can possibly get want to show up at Elder Sokoto Falabi's church and help him, as a support system for one, but also because it's the first, I guess they begin their celebration of African folks like ourselves, and you know, so we want to be there for him. Again, his services begin at 11. A number of us are going to try to be there at 10:45. You know, and try to walk in as a strength. So again, that's this Imani, 11 o'clock in the morning. The address is South Highland Avenue on the hilltop. And his church is the United Methodist on the hilltop. So that's my announcement. Any questions?
So you trying to get a brother to go to church? Is this what I'm hearing, brother? Don't clear the
churches. Well, I shouldn't ask that. I'll ask that off the line.
You missing the point, bruh. See, you need to go reread your them damn folk tales and stuff you've been. What are we doing tonight?
This Proverbs tonight.
Yeah. You need to go read the Proverbs you were just reading, man. I see one of them just went way over your head. But that's all right.
It's still early in the morning. We all.
Hey, sometimes I be ducking. I'm just saying.
We all had that.
Ducking.
It's all good, but again, you know, a coalition of black men, and if they, you know, want to bring their wives and if their wives want to come along, because as many black people as we can from the village, as we can get to show up, you know, give the Bible some love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I got a better question. What time does it start?
11 o'clock a.m.
Okay, cool.
This is money. Excuse me. So that's what we're trying to pull together. So, and you know, mainly I want some black men.
You want black men? Y'all hear that? Black men calling black men. We
call black men. If your wives come, all the better. But we want black men to show up in numbers.
All right. So we're gonna keep announcing it. Then also I'm gonna have to put that on the Black Signal as well. So we'll go on and talk about that, and we'll send it out. I don't know whether you think it would be better to send it out on Nia or Kaumba to send it out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the fact that you were sitting it out is, you know, I mean, I know you got my back, so that ain't even a question. But
yeah, well, that was the question on. None dare call a conspiracy, but that's cool. I'm trying to clean that shit up. You try to clean it up.
Yes, I'm over here giggling to myself out loud. I hear y'all.
You hear this? You hear this, Negro?
I hear this. Yes, I do. I hear him.
Y'all killing me, man. All types of tricks to get me up in the house of the Lord. I don't know what's going on, but hey.
Can I speak frankly as to why I asked that question?
What question you asked?
Speak quick, look. Don't speak frankly.
Something I have learned about myself is that church. I grew up. I was raised in the church, and then you know when I hit an age where I decided that I wasn't going anymore, then I stopped going, and nobody could make me go anymore. You know, that was it. So recently, I had a reason to kind of want to go back and revisit and just kind of get a feel and just exploring my past through different means. So what I discovered was one of the things that I don't like about church is praise and worship. One of the things I do like is the sermon or the message. I don't like praise and worship because they be doing too much. It's too emotional, and I don't like I don't necessarily like emotional environments like that. Because I get emotional, but the way my emotion is expressed is through
you don't like the exploitation of emotion is
right. Yeah. I feel volatile, and I don't like to feel like that, and then feel like I got to contain it. You know?
Well, we going to a Methodist church, so you ain't got to worry about that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but
so y'all was more so asking for like when will be the best time for me to show up. I got the praise and worship hooping and hollering session, then I'm gonna skip that part.
They don't do a lot of hooping and hollering in Methodist churches. I'm just saying.
That's not necessarily true, but what I will say is that
when the last time you been to a Methodist church? When the last time you been to a Methodist service?
Brother,
are you Methodist?
I belong to the AME Zion Methodist.
No, I didn't say AME. African Methodist is different than Methodist. You know this.
You said Methodist.
No, time out.
You got me calling you names, man. Come on.
Come on now. Kwame, please tell me you do know there's a difference between Methodist, whether it's black or white, and African Methodist. You do know there's a difference.
Of course I know there's a difference, but I stick to my line.
Go ahead.
Did you not say Methodist?
Okay, can someone please tell me what the difference is between the two? Because I was raised in a Baptist church, and they used to hoop and holler, you know.
Baptist is, oh my God.
But can somebody please explain what's the difference between the two types of Methodist church? One
is black and hoop and holler, and
okay.
The other is not black and don't hoop and holler. It's a method to the man. Even in the African method, there's a method, but there isn't a place of expression in there that is very us. In the Methodist church, it's called Methodist because they got a method for how things flow. Now they're gonna have the choir piece, and Kwame is right. They could get a little black up in there in the choir piece, but I'm willing to put $20 on the table right now. That it ain't gonna be nothing like African Methodist or even because I grew up in the Baptist and shit. You had to be ready for that shit.
Had you ever attended Elder Sokoto's church when they were on Newton?
Yeah.
Now see, I've never attended this church at all. This was my first time ever. Now, I mean, again, his church isn't on Newton anymore, but nonetheless, how were they when he was on Newton?
Very method driven.
White Methodist or black Methodist?
Listen, very, very white method driven. He always gave a good message, right? But it's like, yo, it wasn't there, man. I'm just you know what I'm saying?
Look, I can't say I'm surprised. Look, because if I remember correctly, he had some white folks on his on the board, and if I'm not mistaken, he may have even had a couple white Jews on the board when they were over there at Newton. Now, remember, well, you may not remember, but Ann and me, we ran our shule out of his basement in that church on Newton.
Remember we had set up the underground in the little refectory over there. I mean, yeah, I remember that because y'all had to move because APDS moved into the basement, right? Or was that before that?
I don't know why we had to move, but what I do know is what I do know is that it came to the those of us who were running Shule. We had a meeting, and the question was asked, would you mind being televised? I said, hell yeah, I mind being televised. I don't want no parts of it. And the other said, well, the church, wants to show that it's, doing good in the hood kind of thing. And I guess Channel 4 or I guess it was Channel 4, I think. Channel 4 or 6. Channel 4 or 6 was going to come through and, televise us doing what we do with our kids. Now, again, I said no, but I was outvoted, so we went through with it. Now, in addition to all that going on, at this point in my life, I was going blind.
Mm-hmm.
I probably had but a little hole, if you will. Imagine not being able to see through anything but maybe almost like a pinprick.
Wow.
And you couldn't have told me I was blind at that point, but nonetheless, that's what I was operating off of. At that point in my life, I had written a program for the children because I didn't want to, quote unquote, stress them in a testing, under testing conditions. So I would put them on the computer and let them play how many questions can I answer correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote out the program, right, that would, quote unquote, test them. And I'll be damned if that's not what those news people focused in on. So I'm with them kids, working with them on that computer. Next week I heard we had to get out of there.
I'm just gonna say the reason it depending on the lineup, because once you started going through that, because we set up in the upstairs piece, there was a refectory, and then we had underground upstairs. We had the house right down the street on Mooberry, right? 'Cause on Mooberry we had the house. And we was working with the young people in the community, and APDS started moving up in there. And when APDS went in there, they put all their offices in the basement. This is before they got the building over there on Livingston right now. They was just coming up out of the original building where on Broad Street. And they was moving in over there. So that might have been part of the reason why y'all had to move it. Now, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we got to get our history, and we got to look at our personal histories so we can see what lines up, what don't.
Check this out. So, okay, let's say that was happenstance, right? So there was a legit reason we had to move out of there.
That wasn't legit.
So
I'm just saying, that wasn't legit.
So we go downtown, right? I don't know. Do you remember Liz Peavy?
I remember the name.
Now, Liz Peavy, we knew her from Oberlin. And then she was working here at Columbus State. And we had made contact with her, and she heard of what our problems were. And she said, well, let me speak with the owner of this building downtown where I have my offices. And he may, allow you to, work out of there. So I forget what the brother's name was, but he had this nice open space where we could, run our shoelay out of. And we got down there, man, and ran shoelay for about a month. And then next thing we hear that brother was getting out of it. So we had to leave.
So y'all was doing good work. Unfortunately, good work means you're going to have the feds on you. They're coming for you. They're coming. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing good work. And we got to be clear about that. Good work means getting audited. Good work means, you know what I'm saying? But now, and then also, because part of the issue, and it's like, y'all had to move, and a lot of those reasons were legit. Wasn't legit at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's cool, man. It's like, but, it's water under the bridge, but it's a lesson. Lessons learned. Right. You know what I'm saying? Lessons learned, So it's like, man, because why did y'all originally have to move out there? Didn't y'all start at the African Center?
Absolutely.
And why y'all had to move up out of there?
Monies were being called due. Now, the history is that, it's a...
Hold on. For those that don't know, a shule was like a school that was done on Kumbas. It was a school that they had set up for the community that could have grew and expanded into something. Now, this was before the days of charter schools.
And the focus was math and science.
Right. This is before charter schools. So they would come together on the weekends, bring all of these educators together, and start working with the children for the first part of Kuumba. So, this is long before charter schools. But go ahead, brother.
So in short, because I don't want to go into a detailed history of that mess, and chances are I don't even know the full history. And I'm pretty sure I don't know the full history. But where we came in is... I don't remember. Do you remember Sister Lou, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember I think it was Brother Ed, who was selling books out of there at that time. And so Brother Ed went off to Atlanta somewhere. And then Sister Lou was basically footing the bill out of there.
Right.
Without help from the... let's say the African Center for Study and Worship.
Right.
And so it got to a point where Sister Lou was talking about going down south. And I don't remember the order of things at that point because, again, we're trying to make our Saturday school work and everything, and and it was working really well. And then we have a meeting with some of the folks of some of the older folks, Baba Kelsey. I don't know if Baba West was involved in that or not, but in any event, the question was coming up on how would we negotiate the monetary situation in order for us to stay there. And let's just say no agreements were made, and so we had to get up out of there.
Well, really quick, if I can chime in, what I hear in this conversation is you saying that we had to leave these different places that we were doing the shoelace. So is it that you wanted to stay there and continue, probably, obviously, but is it a thing where someone or some entity made it to where you couldn't stay?
None dare
forcing you out.
None dare call it conspiracy.
None dare call it conspiracy.
Look, I don't know what it was.
You don't listen, but every place they went,
I'm just curious.
Every place they went, something would happen where they had to move. Now we got to remember, they're being approached and talked to about being able to pay for the space when they are not charging for the service. It's a community service. So they start off at the African Center. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, this is something that they brought up from Oberlin, possibly. But they start out the African Center. African Center get into a financial strait. From there they moved to, was it the church?
Yep.
From the African Center they moved to the church, and all of a sudden they had to move up out the church. And part of that, I'm quite sure part of that had to do with APDS moving their offices down in the basement of the church. You know what I'm saying? But I still don't understand why they couldn't move y'all up into that refectory, because it would have brought more attention to the church. I don't understand. Right? And then you move downtown, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, with all this moving and stuff, you start losing, because with every move you lose people and you lose momentum. So by that time, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know whether it was an entity, possibly. Nobody dare calls it a conspiracy. I won't say it's a conspiracy, but we do know that they was doing good work, and we're able to show the growth that they was having with these children. They were using a cutting edge idea, and that cutting edge idea, as far as the shoelace, was eventually morphed into what we call the charter schools today, because they weren't the only ones doing shoelace. We got to understand that and what's crazy is that, and this is where revisionist history. This is where we got to be real careful. Because the original idea behind charter schools was to service the communities out of which they came and give the flavor of education that community needed. Now, you go to a charter school and I was talking to a parent the other day. They was talking about, well, what's your specialty of your charter school? I said, I could tell you what the specialty is, but I'll be lying to you. And any school that tell you that they specialize in these things, more than likely is lying to you. Yep. So what you mean? Because we all got to teach towards the same test. So how can I specialize in something if I got to pass the same test that the regular schools got to pass? We're a regular school, because this test that everybody demands that we have, or everybody not unknowingly demands that we have, no child left behind and shit like this. And I know some people gonna get mad about that, but you really cannot explore the learning habits of different individuals if everybody got to take the same goddamn test. There's no way that I can say we are majoring in this, but yet we are able. You can't major in something if you got to pass the standard test. That's the reason. That's why you finish all your shit first, then you move for your master's degree. Once you get all of your basic shit passed, then you can focus on one subject in a master's degree. Right? That's how you become a master. You don't become a master by studying multiple things. That's some bullshit. And you don't become a master in 2 weeks. So I have to be, I gotta kind of argue with people about that when they talk about, well, we're pushing the children towards mastery. What, we got a 10-year process? Then there's no mastery. There's proficiency, motherfucker. There's a difference. I'm sorry. But Quasi done fell off. Quasi, what's going on, man? We talk about church, and you done fell off. I'm gonna try to be there. I ain't making,
Nah, man, I listen, bro. You know what I do, man. That's my thing. That's my skill. I'm an observer. Y'all talking about stuff that I don't have nothing but listening to do. You know where y'all went with the conversation. Y'all talking about history. I don't know any of that history. So I was just listening.
You might have been one of those kids going to that shoelay, homie. Really? And might not even remember.
Nah.
Yo, you wasn't doing no shoelays?
I didn't have those type of. I wasn't exposed to those type of opportunities as a kid.
See, now, what's crazy?
Sunday school was my extracurricular.
Ooh. Mine too. Now check this out, man.
Okay, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
What was your? What did he say?
Sunday school.
Oh, Sunday school. Okay.
So, all right, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more history. Check this out. Y'all know the poem, "Niggas Are Scared of Revolution"? No. What?
By you?
No, Last Poets.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Niggas are scared of revolution. Do you know what was the motivating factor on that one? What he was writing about? All right. First off, the one that wrote that was Hassan. The one, what's the? I call him my uncle, and I can't remember because I remember his real name. But anyway, he said he wrote that shit. Not it said.
Okay.
His last name is Hassan. He said he wrote that shit in a riot in Akron, Ohio. This is why I be telling people Ohio or the Midwest has a problem with our self-esteem. Because when you look at hip-hop and you look at the genesis of hip-hop and you look at the genesis of a lot of shit that we listen to, a lot of those artists and musicians come from the Midwest. People been quoting niggas are scared of revolution. Like even all the way into hip hop with party and bullshit and party and bullshit. That comes from that poem. And that shit was sparked off because he was caught up in a riot in his hometown, which was Akron, Ohio. This is why I call him Monk, because I you know what I'm saying? Because we sitting down talking, he telling us, I don't believe that shit. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that historically we have been a major part in one of the key poems that had a piece or had something to do with sparking off hip hop came from a riot in Akron, Ohio, from a man that was born and raised in Akron. Not only in Akron, when we look at the beats that come from that is used in hip hop, a lot of that shit comes directly from the Midwest. And we sit up here, walk around, being all humble to all these other motherfucking big cities that's making money up off our shit. I'm like, fuck them. I love my people. I don't like the attitudes. Fuck y'all. I ain't got time for that.
But when you think about it, though, it makes sense because like the Midwest is kind of the most oppressive mentally type of. I mean, there's so much shit that happen here, but at the same time, we ain't got no beaches. We ain't got a lot of the stuff that we ain't got ocean. There's not as much visual inspiration. It's flat. We ain't got mountains. So it's. And not to mention some of the most oppressive, like, political type shit is being enforced here. So it makes sense that both we wouldn't have that sense of pride and also that a lot of revolutionary type shit would come from here. You know what I mean?
Word. So just like, I'm just throwing it out there because a lot of us don't know the history of what we are, and we got revisionists coming in and breaking shit down. So you hear all these motherfuckers from East and West Coast talking about the origins of hip-hop, and they will write our asses out, just like white people write black folks out of history. I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'm standing up for the Midwest. I'm standing up for where I'm at. I'm standing up for my people. I don't got time for all the fake bullshit. Because all around us right now, like, for example, it kind of breaks my heart that we can have a discussion and say that all of us are immigrants and nobody get up in the crowd and be like, that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We're all our immigrants and we are all the same over here in America. Just like my grandmother came here, your grandmother came here. Some bullshit. We need to be able to, once again, as my dude say, as my quiet political person says, in politics, in economics, in education, we need to be able to reward our friends and punish our enemies. All the other bullshit.
Actually, is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is who you think it is. I
need to connect with that individual.
Dude, listen, I've been trying for years for him to put together a political curriculum so we can start getting young people equipped and ready to run, because there's nobody in our circle or outside our circle who has the experience at putting people together like that. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, I'm giving him his time. You know, you need your time, boom, boom, boom. I got to get some money together. If I need to get him some money, blah, blah, blah. But what he does, because I've been trying to get him to do a podcast, because the perspective that he comes from is straight sabat, where he's able to analyze shit and break it down. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that he don't want to get his face out there. That's why I've been saying, hey, you need to check out Professor Black Truth. You need to check out the other one, because you never see their face. Change your voice a little bit. You don't need to do your commentary. I'll broadcast that shit on Gye-Nyame. And I need people to understand that Gye-Nyame is a media company. I'm not, we have one show because we got one person doing the goddamn show. I'm trying to get multiple shows on the platform. And I will stream every last one of them on all five or everything we got at the same time. I don't care. But we got Lady J that joined us. I know she about to start some shit. Good morning, Lady J. And why you ain't at work?
Same reason why you ain't at work, old man.
Oh. That's cool. Go ahead. I know you got some. Go ahead and start some shit. We ready. I'm just joking, baby. If you ain't ready, you just say you just called in and listened in for now. You just want to join the conversation. I understand.
No, I do have one thing.
When you start hesitating, I get scared. Let me go pee first. Go. You gonna say it? I'm gonna go.
Oh.
I'm old. I gotta use the bathroom. I'm old because I know she about the heat. Y'all don't understand. This woman gets me all hot and I be sweating and shit. I be like, somebody better say something quick. Somebody say something. I'm about to use the bathroom. Go ahead. Go on, shit.
Two things happened over the last 2 days that kind of like just I feel like needs to be addressed. One thing is some people are upset that it seems like when African American black folks, when they come to the forefront with information where they are victimized, that we again victimize them all on social media. And so one of the examples is this Empire star that was allegedly attacked. Anyone know anything about that?
You talking about where the gay guy was jumped in New York, or you talking about Terry Crews?
It was in Chicago, and a lot of people was calling bullshit. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Is he really gay in real life, or is it just on the show?
He is. I think he's really gay.
Oh, okay. So I've seen some commentary on the fact that, especially the LGBTQBW community,
that is a lot of goddamn letters.
I know. They keep adding letters, so I can't keep up with it. But they're upset. I've seen a lot of commentary from black Gay America, and they're upset, and they feel like we do not support them.
Who?
I just told you.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, that's my facetious.
They say that they are constantly victimized, constantly harassed.
Wait,
constantly.
Lady J. Now let me ask this, and the thing that we need to I just want to ask, and I want this from your perspective. Are they being persecuted because they're gay, or are they being persecuted because they're black? See, because I think a lot of times part of the issue is that they be so confused about why they're being victimized that it's kind of hard for us to rock with that shit. You understand?
I already know where I stand on the conversation, but I want to know: do you think that we stand behind them?
You say should
I'm talking about the conscious community. Without a lack of better words, where do you think we stand in regard to black gay America?
The same
I think
place.
dude made it stand clear. He to me it seemed like he's gay first, and then he's black also.
So now when
How you gonna be gay first?
no, that's the
hey, it ain't my way. That's and I could be wrong. That's just what I took away from his whole.
What's the first thing you see though?
You see black, but the point that I'm saying is that when you dealing with a population that like I keep on telling people are circling wagons, and they want us to be in a sense the wild card because we try to fit into everybody's shit. You everything first before you black, right? All of a sudden,
Can I ask you to actually give me some clarification, Hakeem? I think I kind of understand what you mean, but because that sounds like a metaphor. What is it exactly? What idea are you getting at when you say circle the wagons?
Circle the wagons means when we started talking about tribe buildings years ago, where we bring in like-minded people and be able to identify ourselves as a group. Like, for example, using the term DOS or Gye-Nyame. Yes, sir.
Give him the historical context and then bring it to the current.
Well, you're going to have to give him the historical because mine might be a little bit different.
Let me just tell you what my theory is, if I could bring it,
let me
just skip all the way to the present.
Hold on.
Is it kind of like circling your whip, looking and checking before you drive off, making sure you ain't got no flat tires?
When people was going out west, now just a metaphor, when people was going out west, if the so-called enemies or Native Americans, which they don't even call Native Americans no more, they call them insurgents and shit. I mean, this is just revisionist history. When they was like, nah, motherfuckers, y'all can't go out west, and the Europeans was moving out with these wagons, what they would do is they would circle the wagons around the people, and each individual with a gun or was able to get a gun would get into one of those little crevices in the wagon so that they could hold the enemy off and possibly even beat them. So circling the wagons means that you bring people who have common ideas, common aims, common goals. When you bring them together and you circle the wagons because you know people are about to attack your ass. And usually what happens is if you get caught and you're not able to circle your wagons, you are slaughtered. That's what people don't understand. So you can look at the metaphor.
Okay. So I actually have the wrong idea. So you mean like, so if I'm traveling in the wagon and my family, my loved ones are in the wagon, and I feel like we're about to be attacked, then the man or the people, the warriors will get out of the wagon and stand around it.
No. No, listen.
No, it'll be a group of wagons.
There's a group of wagons.
Train. It'll be a wagon train.
Right.
Put all the wagons in a circle.
Put all of the wagons in a circle.
Wagon.
Oh, you make a circle out of the wagon.
Out of all the wagons. Say 20, 30 wagons.
Oh.
And you
it's still a defensive. It's a defensive. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, right.
You set a border.
Okay, I get
you build a border.
Right.
Black folks don't have right now what they want.
So then you can like jump behind and shoot.
There you go. You can put your family in the middle of that. And then on top of that, see, what people don't want black people to do is to develop a border. They want us to open up our shit and allow everybody in. We've been certified.
But those gay black people are black.
But hold
right?
on. No, let me say this to you. When somebody identify themselves with something first, then they need to run to them first. Don't run to me. If you identify yourself, because I know black gay people, right? You know, and I work with black gay people. But people that are gay and black, run to gay people first. Don't run to us. See, because
you ain't right.
Oh, I don't have to be right. See, that's the issue, right? Because as a people, we are so used to trying to satisfy and be right with everybody. Listen, I understand that you are not being attacked because you're gay. You're being attacked because you're black. That's the first thing they see.
Maybe part of that comes from they don't want to identify with being black for whatever reason.
See, a lot of people.
So they're making that choice.
Right, exactly.
Whose side they want to be on.
Exactly.
So if you make that choice, then you got to deal with it.
Don't come behind my wagons, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Go on over there. If you gay first, run to them. See if they going to do it because you need to learn or you need to die. Because they got their wagon circle and they very clear and they try to make you feel guilty because you being like, yo, you're not being persecuted in most of those cases because you gay. Because I got to analyze you and I got to look at you long enough to know if you gay. But I know you black right away. Give me a fucking break.
Maybe part of that is because maybe they do that because in the black community they're being shunned or they're being outcast or they're not being accepted. So they go where they feel, I don't know, most comfortable.
Now, this is the question, right? This is the question. In the black community, we're almost, right now, especially today, maybe 50 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, they might have been shunned. In the black community where you could do anything?
Say it again?
In the black community where you could do almost anything?
Say it one more time, Mateo.
In the black community where you could do almost anything, they feel shunned.
No. Yep.
Come on,
I know they feel shunned, and I'm going to say this.
So wait. Do they feel shunned?
Do you have one of those things that you can change my voice so nobody knows it's me?
I don't have. That's not in the budget yet, but I will work on that for 2019, late 2020. I don't.
Okay, because I need that. But this is the truth. Like, I am for equality for all people, and
that's why you're gonna die.
Even though I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that I would, because I believe in equality and because I have numerous gay people whom I love in my family, including, I'm not going to even say put them out there, but I would carry the rainbow flag at a parade, right? I have no problem. But this is my thing. I know for a fact that this here, there is an agenda that has been impressed upon our people for a reason. And I know for a fact that some of these, like, I look at these pictures, I look at these people portraying this lifestyle, and I just can't buy it because it's not of us. It's not of us. That is some European shit that has been impressed upon us. I remember that Will and Grace had a show. I could barely find, there's a lot of biracial couples in my family too, including my brothers. His people white, right? But we grew up in the projects. We had white people, right? There's the black people, right? But on TV, it was hard to find it. I found it very alarming that Will and Grace had a show. You had a gay white man with a show before it was acceptable for black and white people to be a couple on TV. We were still fighting the Cheerios commercial when gays were taking the limelight. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like it has been impressed. I've never watched Empire. One day I was forced to because I was at somebody's house, but I've never watched that. And there's so many shows I can't watch because of the behavior. And then our kids sit and watch. My students can come to school and give me a play-by-play of these shows, but they can't summarize the reading. You see what I'm saying? But
well, maybe you got them reading the wrong shit.
It is impressed upon our people. It's not of our people. So I'm going to be honest and say, though I believe that you make that choice, you know what I'm saying? It's an anomaly. We should not, I don't go anywhere and I don't see no whole bunch of people with Down syndrome or albinoism or any other, genetic deformity. But I go somewhere, every damn where I turn now, it don't matter. Dude, you got gay black men, right? In super, like in so many high numbers, and then you got gay women too. Looking like I seen the most beautiful woman the other day. She must be going through the crisis. She was trying to be a man. She ain't never gonna look like a man. It was just crazy. But where did we get this idea? Either our food, either something is in our food, these hormones that they've been putting in there since the late 70s, early 80s, has done something to our people, or it's socialization. They're being socialized to be this way. But either way, when I heard these people and I'm watching these videos of these gay black men calling and saying, hey, every time we're being victimized by other people, and then we got to turn around and be victimized by people that look like us, I felt convicted.
Yeah, hey.
I felt a little bad. I feel.
I mean, why? Because, hold on, time out. Because you because you feel that they are an anomaly that was forced upon us? That's why you feel convicted. So you do have some ill feelings towards them.
I do feel like people are gay. This is the saddest part, even with the kids I work with. I feel like people say they're gay, they're not engaging in the behavior, but people say they're gay and they don't even know why they're gay.
Well, I mean,
they weren't born that way. It's an anomaly, meaning that the majority of the people were not born that way. They're choosing to be that way because A, is either in the food they ate, or B, they're watching too much TV.
Now,
I blame Beyonce
Lady J,
yeah.
Hold on. Now you gotta be careful when you get on this because they reward their friends and destroy their enemies. See, what you're saying is that it's an anomaly, it's unnatural, right? And you're not fitting with the version of history that's being told. So you have to, you understand
when I say it's an anomaly, I mean it only really affects a very, very, very minute proportion of the people, but somehow it's affecting more than it should.
Because
that's why I compared it to other genetic deformities. I'm not saying that you can't be born that way. I'm saying that it is rare.
But
so when we see the number of people that are identifying this way, there's got to be two reasons why. That's what I'm saying.
But they, as a group, have the ability to award their friends and punish their enemies. Basic politics.
Black gay people?
No. Gay people as a group. Now, black gay people, right now, they're
getting... Are they a part of that?
Now, see,
they want to be. They want to be a part of that.
They want to be part of that, and when it fits the other group's agenda, they will make them part of that.
They can be. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But when it stops fitting their agenda, you see what I'm saying?
Then they're black.
They're
not considered gay. They're just black.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we got to understand this is a game being played. And I'm like, I'm not... Go ahead.
I just want to say this too. I was not familiar with the historical, and you say it all the time, circle the wagon. But I'm glad that you explained that because this is the other piece that I often say. People sometimes have an issue, with certain forms of political participation, and I'm going to use protest and marching for an example. And so, some time ago, I have been working with a group to organize a march on Washington, right? And we get into this big debate behind who could march behind the banner, right? And so what I say is we all have one common enemy, right? And if we march, essentially the goal is that you will have identified those people who have that same common enemy, and they march with you, right? And so then they said, no, we don't want them marching with us, da-da-da-da-da. And so what I said was give them their own banner. Give them their own banner and let them march amongst us with their own banner, identifying why they're upset, right? Why they feel disenfranchised or whatever. Because even amongst black people, I say that even amongst black people, they have different reasons why we are upset with our enemy. You know what I'm saying? Or the right we have against our enemy. But I just say, like when I'm thinking yesterday when I saw these videos, I was thinking, give these people a banner. I don't have to march behind a banner, but shit, it's enough of them. It's enough of them, and they too share a common enemy. Why wouldn't I want them to be among my forces? You know what I'm saying? Even if their plight is not mine, or even if their objective is not mine, their goal is the same. You know, we must eradicate and bring down a system that is basically screwing us all.
Well, now, and this where, because now, Lady J, let me say this to you, right? And everybody out there, family, listen. Everybody is coming from their angle. Everybody wants to get something. And everybody will fight to get their stuff recognized. The black folks, on the other hand, we allow our shit to be put all the way at the back because we want to be fair. We want everybody to be equal when there has never been a world like that. I'm just saying, for me, it's black first, everything. I ain't got time. I don't need black first education, black first economics, black first political. You know what I'm saying? If a motherfucker, if they have to put you on an agenda in secret, I'm just letting y'all know, you're not on the agenda. If they don't talk about your place in the agenda, you're not on the agenda. I've been in enough meetings to know that. Right? When motherfuckers be like, oh, we're going to bring that up. But if the shit is not on the agenda, it's not in the meeting. So now, what gay people have done has been, they have made it possible so that their grievances can be put on the agenda. Their needs and their wants can be put on the agenda. To where some people actually say, look, I'm gay and black. I'm a gay person that just happened to be black. Then when you come at me like that, then you need to go on and run over to those circle wagons over there with the rainbow flag. Take your ass over there. I have no problems with
You know what's getting on my nerves too, Tim?
What's up?
Every day, not a day goes by when I have to argue with somebody because I call myself black. I'm getting tired of having to defend I'm getting tired of that, Tim. I just hear you say it, and, you know, I have a sense of pride about being black. But it's not a day that goes by where I'm on the social network and I say something about black people and someone wants to tell me black is not this, black is a object, black is this, and black is that. I don't understand it.
Now, and listen, you can research, but you don't have to necessarily even understand it, baby. See, the point is, for me, now I would say go on and understand it. And you can listen to these people's arguments as they go deeper and deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole that has been laid. Because the bottom line is that people are so fucking smart now that is crippling us. Black folks got so much information that motherfuckers can't make an easy decision. I want to go for red, but because red is made by the way that the sun hits the water and it reflects into my irises and affects my bloodstream and my mind. I don't know if I want red or do I want blue that has a calming effect because the way it rolls on the rocks and the vibrations that are stimulated within my cerebellum. I don't know whether I want red or blue. Sometimes too much information is just that. Too much information. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, all these motherfuckers with all this information, this is the way you determine who's building, who's not. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to a motherfucker that's actually out doing the work, or you can listen to the motherfucker dressed like an Isley brother. That's your motherfucking choice. You can listen to the motherfucker that's building, or you can listen to the motherfucker with the funny hat on his head. That's all. You know what I'm saying? All this shit, I don't have time for a lot of those arguments, so I don't even, as a matter of fact, Lady J, I told you a long time ago, and I'm going to tell you what I tell my sons. At one point in time, with all of the sons that I got, they would get in arguments on Facebook. And my daughter Keisha would text me and be like, Daddy, such and such of them is fighting on internet. So I go to that timeline and I would just simply say, we don't fight on the internet. We don't argue on the internet. We don't. All this shit is admissible in court. Y'all stop that shit. Boom, and it stopped. And I'm telling you, Lady J, some of these arguments are fruitless, and you need to start learning how to pick. No. Hold on before you go. Let me finish. Fuck that. I'm gonna finish this. All of the arguments you get on the internet, if it's not producing some motherfucking fruit, but you want to save, you still at the phase in your Pisces hood where you feel that you can save everybody. So baby, have at it. But you're going to be stressed out because you're going to have motherfuckers that's going to be making comments, and because you feel you have to respond, you're going to fall right into the trap. All that shit you don't have to respond to.
I do commentary, Tim. That's what I enjoy doing. Okay. So the same way I like coming on here and going back and forth is the same thing I do on Facebook. I mean, I like to do on my social media. I don't make no threats or anything like that. But I do enjoy commentary, and I do, I feel like Facebook is my platform. I have an opportunity, especially when I'm wearing my bag. I'm not wearing my bag right now because I'm showing off my Obama newspaper in the back of my profile pic. But when I'm wearing my bag, especially, I enjoy going on people's pages and going back and forth with them because a lot of times they don't know if I'm a man or a woman, and I enjoy that. But I enjoy making people think. I enjoy disrupting their current paradigms. Just challenging the things that they're saying. So I don't think that I will. I know that I won't stop. Just this morning, I get on Facebook. This white guy I used to work with, right? I should have known this. I should have known this dude was a closeted freaking bigot when I met him working at the jail. He was the softest white person working. He didn't even last, right? So then you know what they do once they finish there. They go get a job being a cop in some suburban district because Columbus won't hire they scary selves, right? So this dude keeps going on Facebook.
Gina, put this in
and I've had to shut him down 90 million times. Well, last night I didn't argue with him. I just put a chart on, and I'm sure that once he figures out how he's going, I gave him some stats. Once he figures out how he's going to respond, or I might get the last straw. You know what I'm saying? That's always my goal, is to have the last word. But the man goes on Facebook, this white man, always trolling, right? Every time I turn around, he's trolling. And I enjoy going on his page, assassinating him. Very nicely. Very nicely. I chop and screw him in front of all his people and his fans that they want to follow him. And I love it. I enjoy it. It makes my day.
I'll tell y'all something something that happened to me yesterday. Actually, first, real quick, I wanted to say, Lady J, I wrestled with what she was saying, even from, like, the trials of G. One of the things I wrestle with was the label of black, of being black, and I actually wrestled that with myself. Because, and the thing of it for me was that in the Moore's Law Dictionary, one of the earlier English dictionaries, it used the word black for all of these negative connotations associated with it. And then in the Constitution, or the development of the law of this land, or the maritime law that they use to impose on this land, that black doesn't necessarily have any legal standing. So then it was put to us as if black was something that was created and developed by the powers that be to kind of keep us in a place. But then I had to kind of, just recently, in the past couple of days, just now actually, I was allowed to this conversation allowed me to put the kind of the cornerstone on me really embracing black again, fully. I mean, I was already there, like, back maybe to where I was, but like I've kind of exceeded my embrace of my blackness through understanding that the concept of black wasn't something that was imposed on us, just like the word nigger wasn't imposed on us. It was something that we already celebrated in both instances. It was something that we celebrated and utilized amongst each other. And therefore, the powers that wanted to subjugate us came in and used that against us, because those motherfuckers aren't creative. They're manipulative. We are creative. We find associations between the universe and ourselves to uplift things. And then they come in and they steal that shit, and then they make us, they have been successfully making us turn our back on those things. You know what I mean? So I use my nigga for life. That's my shit. Niggas. However you want to say it. I know the vibration of that word, and I know I can feel how much power it has. You see what I'm saying? Just like I can feel the essence of my blackness. Yeah, absolutely.
You're saying niggas, not nigga.
Well, wait, hold on, time out. No, he used it, but he also went back and said niggas as well, because it's like, it's a pronunciation piece. Because it's like, boom, we allow motherfuckers to, control the narrative. Once again, it's about controlling the narratives. Oh, don't use that word because blah, blah, blah. And what Quasi's saying is, he has taken the narrative of the word, regardless of how you say it. You can say niggas, or you can say niggas. It's spelled different. That's all the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
a white person can't call me they nigga, but they can call my son they niggas.
Hold on, time out. So, once again, you open the door for them to call you niggas, which could sound like, I did.
Why not?
No, what I'm saying is, listen to me. You're opening, this gets back to what we was talking about a little bit yesterday, with this whole manhood shit and what's allowed, right? When we was talking about the pants. You start with something small like, yo, okay, cool. I'll call you my niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's such a small little thing. When you allow them to start calling you that, it extends into other shit.
Well, this is the thing, Hatim.
Okay.
And this is the reality.
But wait. Before you go, stop. Before you go into it, let Quasi finish his point. I should have kept my mouth shut, because you're going to try to counter me regardless of what I say. I say Jesus is white, you're going to want to argue with me, right?
No, I have pretty much fleshed out my point. So, I mean, I guess if I could put a closer on it, I would say that, you know, like, even to take a step beyond, this is about to be kind of wild. I'm about to say, I don't know if I should say it or not, but, like, damn, like you said, Hatim, letting them start, and because obviously we were at as a snowball effect. There's like, once they can pull that one string and then they feel like they got it, then they can add one little more subtle thing. This is
they already did pull the string, though. They already did pull the string, right?
That's the thing. And then we got to remember.
You know who's to blame for that?
We are.
Pop culture, yeah, we're to blame for that. Anytime,
propaganda in general. Propaganda is a thing that was created. Propaganda can be taken back to the Adinkra symbols, and even probably beyond that. Because we understand we're symbol literate. We understand symbols. So once we talk to them that shit, then they use it against us.
Right now,
we really shouldn't be letting motherfuckers talk.
Right now, you turn on the radio and all the popular songs that you know, we got to understand when it, and Tim's going to jump on me about this, but this whole idea, this hip-hop culture, you know what I'm saying? It's not just certain things are just not with black people. White people, it resonates with white people too, especially white people who live amongst us in our neighborhoods that happen to be poor, like people in my family.
It don't have to even resonate
right?
with them. It don't even have to resonate with them. It resonates with everybody because it's real.
The thing. You put those are words that should be. Certain words should just be a part of us, and we shouldn't use them amongst others. When you put these words into popular songs that all people listen to all over the world, and then you get upset, then people get upset that these people are using these words.
But you know what, Lady J? No,
Okay, well,
you can get it.
Wait,
hold on. Let Cynthia go.
Words are simple.
Let Cynthia go because she been quiet patiently. Go on, Cynthia. I got you.
I'm like Quincy. I like the listen really, but let's just take this back to what we were saying earlier about us circling our wagons. If we don't, then this is what happens. We let them in. Historically, we've let them in. We've given them what they have, and like, the point was already made, they use it against us. So we have to, and Mr. Hatim has talked about this, pick and choose who we let into our circle of wagons. Whether it be them, some of us, whomever. You just got to be a little bit more selective. That's it.
And that brings us back to the point of what we originally, because this piece started because Lady J, I was like, Lady J, you arguing with people who are set in their ways and shit, you trying to change their mind, and that shit is not going to work because it's not based.
It does work,
Wait,
Tim.
listen to me.
You don't know
let me finish. Can I finish my statement? Then you rebuttal.
I win all the time.
Listen, all I'm saying.
Your actions, never through your words.
Right. I'm like, it's like, you argue with people that set in their mode on a mechanism that's designed to promote argument. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't have a lot of what you call them, the people that follow. I don't have trolls. You know why? Because I turn this shit off. I make my comment and I keep it moving. Matter of fact, I might not even comment to the comment that you make on the shit that I post because I don't give a fuck about what people are saying about what I'm putting up. You see what I'm saying?
Into consideration. Check this out. I'm sorry, you finished?
No, go ahead.
I want you to chew on this, Lady J. You are the minister of propaganda. So by your own definition of who you are, words don't apply. You create spectacles for people. So sometimes it might be the passion or the energy that you put in behind what you're saying, but it's never the words that you're saying. You got to create images for people. You know what I'm saying? You realize this intuitively. So to argue with this person, all you're doing is really giving him words and concepts to later use against you because he doesn't have the creative juices to ever deal with you.
Again, it's not just like we talk about on this show. We know that people are going to come and listen to this show next year, the year after that, the year after that. So it's not necessarily the things that I say. You just taught me this, Quincy, was for the people who are listening. It's for the people that's going to listen later.
No,
when
it's
I'm
not.
typing on the computer.
No, it's not.
Can I finish? When I'm typing on the computer, it's not necessarily for that person that I am engaging. It's for those people who are reading the thread.
Lady J didn't write a newsletter.
I feel like
that shit is backwards. I got to stop you. Yeah, that shit is bullshit. Hurry, make it quick, because that's some bullshit. Go on. Because I'm getting mad. I'm getting hot.
And so,
I need a biscuit.
And so, are you going through the change of life, Hatim?
No, yeah, you young Pisces. I got you young Pisces motherfuckers. Kill me. Go on. Just psychic ass.
And I do feel like as the minister of propaganda that I am doing my due diligence.
That shit is not official yet. We ain't vote you in yet. Cause you crazy right now.
Vote me and I gave myself a self. That's my.
No, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. You can't vote your.
That's not some bullshit.
You can't. You can't. You couldn't. Wait, hold on. See, this how much respect. You can't vote yourself in as a Makunga.
I don't care.
Wait. No, it's not. But when it comes to our stuff here, it's different, right? See, that's what I'm saying. We gotta sucker our wagons. I need people that respect what we doing. What we are able to present to you as a group, right? When we are able to vote you in as a group, should matter. But when you go to another group,
did I not present myself as that person? Did I not say that?
Go ahead. I'm just throwing shit out there, Minister.
So, whenever I'm writing, I consider myself to be a poet somewhat. I consider myself to be someone, I like to write. So that I do feel like when I am on the internet, it is still a form of propaganda that I am promoting. But also, it's not just for that person that I'm going back and forth with. It's for those people who are reading the thread. It is to get them to think. It is them to ask questions, them to go look up something and challenge, this idea of cognitive dissonance. A lot of people, even when presented with the truth, they would prefer to continue to believe those untruths that they have believed for many years, And so whenever I am typing, I'm presenting information or sharing, because sometimes it is a graphic. It could be statistics and charts and graphs. Whenever I am doing this, it's not just for the person that I'm going back and forth with. It is for those people that are reading, because that are reading the thread.
Lady
because
J.
I want to get them. I want to challenge their thoughts.
Lady J.
I want to challenge their thoughts as well.
Both of y'all are right. Let me say this real quick. Both of y'all are right. Both of y'all are right, because nobody is going to be. You have to determine for yourself who you are, Lady J. You have to realize what your gift is and what you have to offer. But your gift is only going to reach the necessary amount of people by being uplifted by other people. You see what I'm saying? If you're the only one that's saying what you got to say, no matter how right or true it is, then you just are a person saying a bunch of shit. But once your team puts you on their shoulders, then everybody can be like, yo, this team is strong. This person is saying this. And that strong team is supporting that person saying that. So that's how those two kinds of ideas can't, not only do they go together, they can't exist without each other.
Wow. You saying I can't exist without Lady J? There wouldn't be no me without Lady J. Is that what you saying, brother?
I can motherfuckers.
God damn. So I can't kill her? God damn.
Hey, man, Lady Jada became my new best friend, so just like I consider myself the minister of defense, you know what I mean? If people choose to act, it might be a little bit more of an intimate thing. If people choose to act outside of something that I'm willing to protect, then that's the group saying that, hey, we don't think that your protection or your idea of protection is something that we want to exist under.
Just all I'm saying. Just all I'm saying. Quasi and Lady J, please listen. It's a beautiful thing to go and be able to it's like I gotta feed the village, right? I got a village of 150 because Gye-Nyame, each tribe can only grow to 150. So Gye-Nyame, since this is the original tribe, eventually once we get beyond 150. Another tribe is we're gonna have to split, and another tribe is gonna have to come. Gye-Nyame gonna have to regrow, and a new tribe is gonna have to regrow because we keep it down to 150 people, right? That's part of our Lord. That's part of what's going on with us, right? Because we understand we still one family, but in each tribe there can only be about 100, at the most about 150, and that's pushing it. If I have 150 people that I have to feed, and I go to the lake with a fishing pole, it's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to feed all those people on certain days. I might have a good day where I'm able to get enough fish for 150 people with a fucking fishing pole. But if I throw a fucking net into the water, it's a good chance that each time I throw that net into the water, I'm going to be able to draw in enough fish to feed everybody almost every time I go out. And I'm just saying, Lady J, I honestly believe, and this is just my opinion, I honestly believe that you're throwing a fucking fish, you're using a fishing pole to catch motherfuckers, when as if you say you are the minister of propaganda, do you understand the idea of creating something where massive people could come and see? Everybody ain't going to a single person's post, but hold on,
Jim, so you know I do.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
all the time.
what I'm saying is, we can't talk about it, got to be about it. You see what I'm saying?
I talk about the fact that networking with individuals who can actually produce the images that I need and how to launch these campaigns all over.
But how do you get them to work with you?
I talk about that all the time.
But how do you get them to work with you, Lady J?
But this is the thing.
No. Back to my question. How do you, Lady J?
I say this all the time.
Lady J.
We attack the enemy. We attack the enemy by any means.
Listen.
So
you're going back to your propaganda. I'm asking you a question. How do you get those with the skills that you want? How do you get them to work with you?
Building a network. What do you mean?
Okay, cool. How do you get them? How do you get them?
The effectiveness of propaganda and what I do. And
Lady J, it's not propaganda. It's not propaganda if it's not getting out. It's just gossip.
Listen,
if it's going person by person, it's just gossip.
Let me tell you, and I can't take total credit for this, and I'm not going to take total credit for this, but I'm going to tell you, this is how I know what I do works. Did you see that the school that I work at is now the number 2 middle school in Columbus, from number 14 to number 2? You know what we do every day that I'm in charge of for the since I've been at this school? You know what we do every day? We have programming every single day. Every single day we have programming.
Do y'all program one at a time?
That programming brings about a sense of belonging.
Do you program them one at a time? Or do you program them as a group? That's all I'm trying to get you to understand, Lady J.
It's the whole school.
It's the whole school. You're not going through one at a time and doing the morning programming. You programming the whole school. So what
the entire
Lady J, but let me hold on before you get, because I know this story is another 15 minutes. Hold on. I just want to make this point, and then I'm going to shut up. This originally started because you said that you were tired of having to defend calling yourself black, if I'm correct. And the only point that I was raising is that you don't have to waste your time arguing with people about this. But you like that shit. So don't complain about it on my show no more.
I have to agree with that too.
Okay, can I chime in?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yes. So in being on social media and different, internet platforms, I do see that there are people that enjoy that. It could be, they might even agree with you, but they just want to argue, And so, yes, I get it that it sometimes they do want to get a point across or get their information across or sway people to, think or feel the way they feel. But a lot of times I think it's just people just want to argue. They just want to be divisive or, and overall that doesn't, that doesn't help our cause. That doesn't further us if
I just realized something.
People just argue, They just argue to be right. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but
if I'm not mistaken, Sister Cynthia, ain't you an Aquarius?
Yes, I am. My birthday.
So we got a male Aquarius, a female Aquarius, a male Pisces, and a female Pisces in the moment that we're transitioning from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. We're dope.
No.
So don't tell me this whole thing ain't ordained. And that's kind of what I think we need to relax into, is understanding that this whole thing is ordained. With that being said, there's work to be done, and we all got to adjust. We all got to learn from each other. We got to really be willing to learn from each other and do new stuff. We've been taught to do the wrong thing. And, you know, it's so, like, just talking to Lady J yesterday, she gave me a whole perspective shift. My whole perspective.
She good at that shit.
Forced to shift, and I'm not, huh?
She good at that shit. She'll say
and
some shit to you.
I'm not saying that my actions are going to be able to immediately change, but now I'm aware of the weight of how I have to be different moving forward. And something that's very important and central to my existence and being. I couldn't exist if it wasn't for this thing that I'm wrestling with. This relationship, the most essential relationship that I've been wrestling with my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, I have an entirely new way of looking at that relationship and my responsibility in that relationship, how I drive the progress of that relationship. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say something about an experience I had yesterday. It's the exact same experience we were talking about. It was on Facebook. So, and the crazy thing is the person that posted, that started the whole conversation, debate, was somebody that was on the show. Remember Tico? We was talking about football?
Right.
So he's an educator. So he was off yesterday, just like y'all lucky folks, you know. So he was at home playing Madden, and he posted on his timeline that he noticed that as on the new Madden, you can do a lot of creative stuff. He said you can create a black player, you could even create a black head coach, but you cannot create a black owner. And
Shut up! Shut up!
White privilege. Hashtag white privilege. So then this white dude got on there and said something kind of ridiculous, man. It was just crazy what this dude said. He said something like, you know, that's racist for you to say that.
Ooh.
Like, you know. So the thing that
great job, white boy.
To me was all of these people got on there and started like talking to dude, and I'm like, wait, y'all tripping? Why are y'all even addressing this dude who is obviously either dumb as fuck or trolling y'all? You know what I'm saying? Why are people feeling it necessary to even address this dude? Like, I literally, and at least 5 to 10, maybe even more than that, different black men got on there and was like, bro, what are you talking about? That don't make no sense. I'm like, but I literally never addressed dude. I was talking to the bruhs in the room. Like, why are y'all addressing this guy? Look back and read the shit he said. It's completely nonsensical. So what the fuck advantage is there to get this dumb motherfucker or a trolling motherfucker to agree with you? And that right there is the essence of this whole white supremacist shit. They get us spinning our wheels, wasting our time addressing their nonsensical bullshit instead of developing our own shit. And so it was almost as if that dude, he was the authority in the room. Once he was like, you're right, it was white supremacist, guys. I was just fucking with you. Then it was like, whew, finally we can relax because he gave us the ability to relax and move on from, you see what I'm saying? Like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Quasi.
Yep.
Yo.
This is something that I want to do too, because I ran into a similar shit, and I told about this, but it fits into what you're talking about. I'm watching DC, right? Me and my son, we like, because y'all know I'm into anime because that's part of our discussions on Kaumbas with the young people. So I'm getting this DC service where and I'm going to tie it back together. Give me a second, please. When we are looking at a show called Young Justice Season 3. We're watching it. Been waiting for 4 years. They finally launched this shit. And all the black characters got this stereotypical black voice and have these stereotypical black relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I'm noticing this shit all the way through. And I'm like, there is no black writers on your shit. Right? And then you turn around and you tell me that on one of the most popular games where at least we might be buying about 30% of them, if not more than that. You're telling me that you can have a black player, you can have a black coach, but you can't create a black owner. You know what I'm saying? Now, both of these are, in a sense, minor things. But both of these are things where we could bring people into awareness of where we are seen in this culture. You know what I'm saying? Because The View is fucked up, but it's not wrong. You understand what I'm saying? It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I wouldn't even focus on the white boy's piece. I'll be like, God damn. So you can't create no owners? So why should I buy this shit for my child or allow any of my children to play this shit? Well, you can't see yourself as a motherfucking owner. Why, you know what I'm saying? Why continue watching Young Justice when they got these relationships that don't even exist in the black community, and then everybody's got this stereotypical where you got a white boy playing a black person rather than actually bringing black people to play black people. You know why? Because we can't reward our friends and punish our motherfucking enemies. And an enemy is anybody that will take your image or take the idea of you and make it less than what is possible. God damn it. And we need to be clear about that shit. Because we started talking about gays. Gays will let a motherfucker know immediately your motherfucking career is on the line if you fuck with us. Period. With us as black people, say what you want. It's all cool. You know, we could use the nigga word. Okay, he didn't say nigga, he said niggas and shit. Okay, and I understand. Did you say nigger or did you say nigga? You know what I'm saying? Because it is a different context. You understand? Blah, blah, blah. We make excuses for motherfuckers, and I'm saying circle the wagons. It's certain shit that you say to us. It's certain shit that you don't. There's certain things you do to us. It's certain shit that you don't. It's certain ways you treat us. It's certain ways you don't. And as black people, until we get to that understanding, because that's what a border is. What do you think America is fighting over right now? They're fighting over because you got one white man that's saying, listen, we can't continue letting all these people in and allowing them to get free services. And you got another group saying, we're the richest country in the world and we should be able to let as many people in as we want. When both of them are benefiting, will benefit both ways. If they don't let more people in, they'll benefit. If they let more people, they benefit. So white supremacy benefits either way. And we end up getting caught up in the fucking arguments because we can't step back far enough to understand that these motherfuckers, either way they go, the only thing they give me
and you know what, Hot Town?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I actually got to give a little bit of pushback on what you were saying, man. Like, I agree with everything, every concept that you said. I agree with. There's only one word in there that kind of I want to omit.
Go ahead.
And I've actually been wanting to say that. I think between today and yesterday, you said that we can't make people do what we want, or I can't exactly how you said it. We can. We absolutely can.
Well,
we just are afraid of the consequences.
There you go. See,
we can shut this whole fucking shit down literally right now. Literally right now.
And when
half of us might die like a motherfucker, bloody, slaughter, disgusting ass death. But then they're gonna start listening.
There has to be a sacrifice. You quoted the African Over Tree of Life, first page, third proverb. The human being freedom isn't in the head. Say, oh, that's not the one. It's all in the chapter sacrifice. Those who are not willing to sacrifice will not be fulfilled. Point blank. This is what separates us from all the other groups. We sacrificing the wrong shit. Right? When you start getting into sacrificing blood and shit like that, being willing to do that shit, you're treated totally different. You're treated totally different. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, dude, like I said, and when I say we can't, from the present mindset, we can't. Because we have still got the basic. If I was to have, like, I call Cleveland down here, I'd be like, Cleveland, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do, come here, sir. This is Gye-Nyame shit, right? This is Gye-Nyame shit. Some of y'all out there listen to this, because I know some of y'all spying on us and shit. Cleveland, what must a warrior do to be great?
They must die.
Explain.
They must be willing to die to the 7 unbalanced passions.
What are those?
Fear, envy, pride, greed, sloth, lust, and anger.
Okay. Now, the mother of all of those unbalanced passions is fear. If I could get you up under the spell of fear, you always gonna lose to me. Fear of death. That's what that's what Quasi be going crazy about, because he can't Can y'all hear me? I must have dropped off the
Yeah,
line.
I can.
Okay.
No, I can hear you.
I mean, because we done fell off the piece where it's like, boom, we're willing to give the ultimate piece in order to make this shit happen. But now, I might get my Jordans dirty. Type shit. I mean, it's crazy, man. But the point I was trying to bring up is that shit with the Madden piece, it's a minor piece, but it's a major piece that Lady J need to write about and create a meme for and put out there, and all of us share that motherfucker until motherfuckers really start getting upset and start throwing them motherfuckers. Look, I bought the Madden, I'm throwing this shit out, and I bet now every place I go, I'm going to steal it and I'm going to throw this shit out because y'all motherfuckers have put a limit on us in your imagination. We don't put limits on y'all in our imagination. We want y'all to be able to dance like us. We want you to be able to get along in our culture. We want you to be able to speak the language. But when it comes to your culture, as far as controlling shit and having some supremacy and having some mechanism of expressing ourselves and shit, y'all limit us. We done made the sky the limit as far as our culture for you. You come in, break dance better than us, and we celebrate you. You come in, you rap, and you're good, we'll raise you up because we had a true meritocracy. But you motherfuckers don't want to give up shit for us. Not even a fucking
because
video
they don't have
game.
the merit. They don't have the merit, and that's the thing. And that's what we need to realize is that the ultimate fear is their fear of us. Because I think what we may realize intuitively, some people might realize it more than others, is that we're fighting for humanity because they can't survive on this planet without us. Look at what they're doing to the planet. I mean, even because we talked about resources, utilizing resources and all that shit, and maybe I was talking about, I've been concerned about us depleting the resources, but even set that aside, maybe oil is the earth's blood and it'll keep producing it. But then at the same time, if you kill the heart, then it stops producing blood. But even if that's not the case, I like kayaking. I started kayaking this past summer. I kayaked down Alum Creek. There is so much fucking trash. That shit made me hate humanity, man. There is so much fucking trash all through the river, man. That shit is disgusting. It's supposed to be beautiful. That shit is trifling. I don't even want to step out. I don't even want to put my feet in the water. That shit is trifling as fuck. And this is the white man's imagination that made that shit happen. And we're not innocent of that. We participate. We're probably some of the most trash-making motherfuckers. We throw our little trash and eat our little shit from the corner store and throw it on the ground. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But this is not. We didn't imagine up plastic. We didn't imagine up all of these disposable containers. We didn't imagine that shit up. We participated in it, but we didn't imagine that shit up. So what needs to be taken into consideration by us is that, we in a sense they're an anomaly. They're a genetic anomaly. We are a genetic consistency. We're a genetic definite. You see what I'm saying? If we could get reduced down to one person, and then over the course of however long it takes, we would retake all of the lighter skinned race because we're genetically dominant. You know what I mean? So we're not only just trying, if white people could live in their place, cool. That's fine. Let them live. White people are the one that want to extinct us because they're concerned about us extincting them, And people worry to talk about all this colonizing other planets and shit. They can't even live in harmony on this planet. There's such a young species of people. There's such a young occurrence. I don't know if species is the correct word, but there's definitely some significant differences between the two. Actually, I would say there's probably about 5. There's the African. I was thinking about this might be kind of a little shift, a different subject, but then you got African Americans, you got Africans, you got Latin Americans, Asian Americans, and then you got Western Asians. Are kind of the 5 larger cultural areas in the world. You see what I'm saying?
The only correction I would say is there is no Western Asian. There's only Asians. Now we could break the Asian group down.
Culturally, I said cultural though. I definitely said culturally.
Well, that culture. I mean, when you look at and I know people gonna get mad at when you look at West Asian culture and East Asian culture, it's not that much of a difference. All the motherfuckers is violent. I mean,
Some of the main differences are there. Like, this is sustainability in China. China definitely has a sustainable culture. There's a lot more sustainability, in the Asian culture.
You think so?
The Asian culture.
You think so?
Yeah, because they got dynasties that have lasted thousands of years. This thing couldn't last. This current project could not last 1,000 years.
You don't think so?
The planet couldn't survive 1,000 years of this culture.
We don't even know what this planet could take. This planet is so big that most of us can't imagine this shit.
This planet's ability to sustain higher forms of life couldn't sustain 500 or 1,000 years of this culture. It's my theory.
Now, somebody said, I am James Wallace. Shouts out to you. He said, sounds like a double standard. I don't know what he was talking about. But, family, when it comes to us, you know what I'm saying? It comes to us surviving. Are you not willing to uphold a double standard? You know what I'm saying? It's like we got so many categories that we could put shit in, and we feel bad about it. You don't think white supremacy is upholding double and triple and quadruple standards and shit for themselves? The motherfuckers that's winning the game. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that they got that shit, and we feel bad because, like Quasi said, we fight for humanity. Listen, I need all my team players, all of those that's on my team. I need you to understand, you're not fighting for humanity. You're fighting for our survival. We're fighting so that our children can have a space on this motherfucker and do their thing. Because nobody with us for the last 700 years have been able to do their goddamn thing. So fuck the standards and how many of them. Fuck the fairness. Look, if I could get it all for mine, I'm going to get it all for mine. Because everybody else is playing like that. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't realize that?
I do agree with you on that. I do. And that was my concern when I was saying that it could be misconstrued. The complexity of my thought didn't match the simplicity of my words.
And sometimes it can't. And we got to understand, listen, family, if I'm on a team, right, I want the whole team to win. I don't want just the offense to. I want the whole team to dominate the competition. We are on a team. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that and unfortunately, everybody won't view it like this. I don't want our team to cheat to win. But then what happens when you run into a team that's willing to cheat to win? And life and death is with victory or loss. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Get quiet. Because you're innately a just people. Now, saying that, and I can't argue and say everybody ain't just, because there's certain qualities in human beings because we are human beings. I want to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain qualities that have always been there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, boom. Now, I declare my team. What will I do to win? You know what I'm saying? This is what we got to deal with. It's not that complicated. Y'all going to the deep metaphysics. Y'all going to the deep spirituality. Y'all going to all that shit. But when it comes down to it, it's going to what is going to decide where we go as a group is the basic questions. Basic questions. What in the fuck are you willing to do for the next generation? See, when we stop wrestling with some of this shit, they'll stop playing with us. Motherfuckers will kill a black mom, will kill one of us, and go to court and get vacation. And when motherfuckers start coming up and not really being able to come to court, and not really being able to be comfortable after they done some shit like that, I'm guaranteeing you it will stop. See, because you don't have black officers just killing young, because I want y'all to really be honest about that. Who you think act out more with police officers? Black teenagers, black young people, or white young people? I want y'all to think about that shit. Because from a young age, most of us, unless we are ready to die at that point in time, understand that these motherfuckers is gonna lay us down if we act out. It's you don't even have to talk about it because they can see the relationship between the police and our community. You know this shit. This is why a lot of y'all get uncomfortable when the police pull up behind you. We already know our role. We might not be able to speak it, but we know our role. So I gotta ask you the question: who you think act out with the police officers more? Young black people or young white people? Then after
You said who acts out with them more?
Yes.
Who acts up with them?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be the white people. So
Exactly.
they know they can get
Yeah,
away with it.
I would say we don't act out at all.
Now, but why don't you hear about a lot of them being laid down? Fucking officer, you don't have no
Like
right to
privilege.
pull me over. Not
You
only
know why you don't?
because there will be a
You know why you
consequence. Go ahead.
One reason you don't is because white people are socialized to fear black. And so before
That don't have shit
a
to do
black
with what I'm
person
saying, baby.
gets an opportunity to do anything, a white person is already afraid.
No,
I don't think
you
white
ain't,
people
you
are
ain't gonna
socialized to
understand
fear
it.
blacks. I think white people inevitably, genetically fear the fact that we're genetically dominant. It doesn't
You
have
took
anything
it
to
to
do
a
with us
whole
being
nother
violent.
place. I ain't even
They
asking
feel
that
our
shit.
penises.
But if you think about it, they are socialized, because anytime and the same thing goes to my young people. When I'm dealing with them, this whole idea of looking glass self, I'm gonna behave how I think that other people perceive me and think that I should behave. The images
Okay,
and
so
the
I can
portrayals
get that. If they're socialized to fear us, then they're socialized to fear us in the same way an antelope is socialized to fear a lion.
So on TV, when we turn on TV, in addition to the current agenda for homosexuality, we also know that there is this agenda with violence, and it's been that way. But
they're not afraid of us as far as a violent perspective. They're not afraid of our ability to wage violence on them, though. I mean, maybe in a fair one, they might be afraid of. They might be afraid of. But white boys ain't no punk like that no more. They got access. They got money. They out there training. White boys can fight.
That's what I heard you say. But I'm telling you just from working, just from kind of what I see in the school system. I had a white woman tell me the other day that she
White
was
woman.
afraid.
Listen to what he said, sister.
A white
You ain't
teacher.
listening.
She said it. She admitted it. And I had to tell her white friend, who's my coworker, to talk with her because I was so offended that I did not want to say anything because I was sure that I would for certainly frighten her even more. But white people, they come into our communities. They have never lived amongst us. They don't know us. They don't. They're not familiar with us. What they know about us, they've gotten from TV. They've gotten from some of those news stories where they're always negative. That's what they know about us, and so they.
I think that these processes are a byproduct of them having an inbred automatic understanding that they interpret as fear. So this is all the play out of how they address that. If anything, they've been socialized to use that fear as a weapon. But it's not fear of any physical conflict. Even the biggest, strongest, like you go back, the biggest, strongest person, African warrior that you know, you ain't going to be able to be in a physical conflict, was probably the kindest, most gentlest person at the same time. And had 50 kids. And they had one. That's what they feared. Genetics.
Now, let me say this. Let's just break it down even deeper. Because that's deep. You understand what I'm saying? That's deep. Let's take it to a child. Let's say you tell a child not to do something, but with the stuff that you tell them not to do, there's no consequences. What's going to happen with this child and them doing it? Are they going to stop or are they going to continue if they like doing it?
They're going to do whatever they want.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Now,
They
we
push
get into
the limit every time and do
Exactly.
whatever they want. They're going to walk all over.
Now, breaking it down simply, I do what I can do. When there's consequences, I stop doing. So if I kill you and there's no consequence, why should I stop killing you? And what signal am I sending to everybody else like me that wonders what happens if they kill you? Now, if you kill a white kid, Like, for example, going back to my original argument, if you kill a white kid, if an officer kill a white kid because the white kid is doing the exact same shit that a black kid is doing, smoking weed, talking, not only getting belligerent with your ass, you find a way to handcuff that motherfucker and put him in the paddy wagon. Not because you white, but because you know.
They didn't at the courthouse.
Hold on, time. You talking about 1 out of 20. Get out of here with that shit. Listen, all I'm saying is, let me finish.
This is the thing, Hotel. This is the thing about media. This is the thing about media. Just because they don't show it on TV doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Just because we don't hear about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It's by design. They pick and choose. The reason why they pick and choose to show the police slaughtering us because it's modern day lynching. They want to instill a sense of fear in us. It's not nothing new that they're doing. This is the same shit they've been doing. Anytime you can go on your Facebook and watch someone like Eric Garner be choked out over and over and his lifeless body shown over and over, or you can watch this young man who was a teacher and he gets pulled over and he's shot. Anytime you can watch that on Facebook over and over and over and over again, it ain't to bring awareness per se. It's modern day lynching.
No, it is to bring an awareness. It's always to bring an awareness.
At the same time,
you doing this all.
The counter
You doing this
is
all.
valuable to them because the way that the system has to balance itself out. Because if it was too overtly obvious that that's happening is only black. Just like how the white dude in that Facebook thread said, "Nah, that's racism for you to even say that there's no black owners is white privilege." They have to balance the narrative, so it's in their benefit to every time that a white boy is killed by the police for them to trumpet that and say, "See, we do it."
We do it's happening.
Hold
on, we got somebody else on the line.
If the whole purpose is still the same way they would take and hang slaves and burn slaves and make those other slaves come out and watch in order to instill fear, it would not be in their best interest. Because we got to understand why that was allowed. I had never watched anybody die ever, or no social media, Facebook, anything until Eric Garner. And then what happened is, or it might have been one before that, but what happened is it happened over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Now, there was no discretion. It wasn't like the videos where you can say, watch with your own discretion, uncover it. It wasn't none of that.
Hey,
so
excuse me.
I gotta know. I have to know why it is that it was allowed to be shown like that. And like I said,
he just told you. You don't hear.
It took me back to lynching.
No, see now, hold on. So now, but the first thing you come up with is an example of white people being terrorized by their own group. See, my issue is I'm black first. Leave that shit. Take that shit over to your timeline and have that discussion. Because I'm telling you, there is something that happened afterwards where they will not do that shit. When there's no consequences, motherfuckers run rampant. You can't have a speed law without a couple of motherfuckers being pulled over and receiving speeding tickets. You understand what I said? If there's no consequence. So for when they deal with us, there's no consequence. So I could put it on Facebook and allow that shit to just be running rapid and not put any type of message on here and not pull the shit off. You know why? Because there's no consequence for Facebook. There's no consequence for the officers. There's no consequence for the judge. There's no consequence for the juries. There's no consequences for the politicians that allow this shit to happen. There's no consequences. So I can play that shit over and over and over again. But let that shit happen to one of theirs. And even with the white boy that's in the courthouse, where's that video at, Lady J? I can still pull up Eric Garner, because I know his name, because it's been ingrained. I can still pull that shit up. What was the white boy's name that was assaulted and murdered in a police station that you keep bringing up?
It don't matter.
Yes, it does matter. Yes, it does matter. It does matter. It does matter. Because you said Eric Garner. You was able to identify. You better stop trying to out-talk me before I go and click you. You are able to say Eric Garner. You are able to pull up other names. What was the white boy's name that you want to bring up on my timeline? And don't bring him up until you know his name. If you don't know his name, just just give up. Because if you don't know his name,
Hakim, I'm gonna say it again. The moment that I watched my timeline and I watched the initial story drop, for 10 minutes, black people were on their way downtown.
Time out. You're missing the point. You're missing the point, and you're just trying to talk, trying to prove me wrong or something. I don't know what you're doing. Listen to me. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't understand it. You're not listening, and you're missing the point. What was his name? When you can identify, yes, it does.
I just said it.
Yes, what's his name? You say Eric Garner. You didn't say the police. You didn't say the black man that was choked out on internet in New York. You said Eric Garner. You was able to identify his name. Why is it that you know his name, but you don't know the white boy that you bring up often on my show?
I told you why I knew his name. You know why I know his name? Because that day changed my life. That's why I tell. That day right there let me know.
But according to you, when that white boy got choked out, when that white boy got murdered at the courthouse, it changed your life.
Eric Garner.
According to you,
I can't name the other black
you just can't be wrong, and you're gonna have to learn. You either eat one or two things. Either you're so right that you're arguing with a fool and you don't even need to argue no more, or you're just wrong and you're just trying to out-talk me. Now, you need to decide on which one you are.
You said what I said. My whole point is
you're not hearing what I said because you're not interested in what I said. You're not hearing what I said.
I am interested I did hear what you said. But what I'm saying...
What's the white boy's name then? You can look it up on the internet right now.
All I'm saying is that...
You know why you don't know the white boy's name?
You still on the line? Gender Quincy, I was going to ask you to jump in. I'm so glad it's the Aquarian age. I'm so glad it's the Aquarian age out here. I just be hoping y'all be listening to each other because, like, y'all need to find that common, like, it's like word soup. And it's hard to decipher.
I don't think that I said anything very much different. All I'm saying is when we think of propaganda and when we're looking at the change in how things, and I'm talking about, they always say stuff like viewer discretion, like I go on Facebook, there's a screen, I have to lift it up, right? There was no viewer discretion when we went through a period, a very long period of all of these black men without guns being murdered. Why were these images? Why were these images allowed to be?
It's a very valid point. I think what you're saying is a very valid point, but I think there's a counter narrative to that by you acknowledging helps illuminate a larger point. Because Hatim was asking you a question, and you kind of gave the politician response. Why does it matter? That's leveraging the argument. Instead of allowing him and answer, like explicitly answering his question, because you knew that he had a point on the other side of that question. So let me finish. By you choosing not to explicitly answer his question, you cut him off at the knees and didn't allow him to illuminate the point that he was making. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that.
What nobody realizes that we were making the same point.
Well, then why have the fucking argument with me?
It became stagnant. And y'all was like butting heads instead of allowing each other to contribute to illuminate.
It's not the same argument. That's my point, man. It's not the same argument because you're going for me, it's almost like you're approaching the shit backwards. And it's like it becomes so tedious. I'm asking you a question. If you know where I'm going is the same place you're going, why the fuck argue with me?
I did argue with you, Hakim. You asked me what was the boy's name, and I said that was the whole point. We don't know. We don't fucking know. And all I said is it's by design. A lot of times things are happening, and we don't see, I don't think we always pull up the hidden agenda.
You know what I'm saying? They hit the gender. And that's all I'm saying is that
I'm helping you point out the hidden agenda, but you get...
Right. He has to pose the question, and then he also gave the option to either answer the question or say, I'm not sure. But then the conversation did start to kind of take a turn after that. So we didn't ever get to whatever the meat of that particular vein of the conversation was going to be. So I'm on that piece.
And I thought that Hatem, the point that Hatem, I was curious to see how Hatem was going to bring that image that was in his head. I was wanted to see how he was going to bring that to life, And we all, even if we have different perspectives, it's like we have the same agenda. You know what I mean? Somebody just either came in or left.
It just say Florida. The line just said Florida. They just came in.
Got everybody, because I am experiencing right now the challenge of wanting to keep things on track. I have to. So that my challenge in life right now is to be more people focused. Because one thing I learned about myself, and this challenge that Tiandra had us do, this game, kind of like an icebreaker, is identify how I approach problems. I don't give a fuck about people's emotions. That's kind of how I get down. I don't care about how people feel. I'm just gonna go. Like if we on a boat and I see a problem, I'm gonna jump out of the boat without consulting with anybody. I'm gonna swim to where the tangle is, and I'm gonna try to get that shit out. But in a sense, it might be better for me to tell somebody because I might drown. You know what I'm saying? So if I tell somebody, then they might give me an oxygen tank, so then I could be a little more focused. You see, because sometimes when I say I don't give a fuck about people's emotions, or even I don't even necessarily give a fuck about people, period, individuals. I give a fuck about the group. And that could even be me. Like, I could give less of a fuck about my own survival than fixing the problem with the boat. So I could end up hurting myself at the risk of everybody going down the boat, because I was the only person that realized what the problem was. And instead of explaining the problem and coming up with the best solution, I just dove in because I can be so, what's that word?
Proactive?
Yeah, but I guess that make it sound more flattering. Like they call ADD people, they have you're impulsive. I could be so impulsive that I could do things at the risk of the greater goal. You know what I mean? So that's my challenge. And I think that in these conversations, if we're not realizing our own challenges, then we're at least missing half of the opportunity in these conversations.
I'm hot right now. I'm just I'm mad. Sasha said I'm mad. All right. The mad type.
But Sasha just be sitting there just taking it all in, huh?
Listen, the kids that's part of why I do it, because they got to see the passion and all this shit, because this is actually us. This is, for me, this is effective. This is actually more effective than some of the other strategies that we've been using. Because my kids...
So she can hear us too?
Oh, she hear y'all. Shit, my kids, for the last 3, they participate in the
I need to watch my mouth.
No, because what I want my children to get is a taste of reality. So now I have the option to have a conversation with them. Baby, you don't say that in class. Where did you learn that? Oh, you heard Quasi say that shit? Okay, Quasi.
5 million times.
Right. So now I get to have a conversation with my kids about how they, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't saying shit compared to what I say. You understand what I'm saying? They, you know what I'm saying? They hear me all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm exposing my children to real university. Not this fake shit, not this politically correct shit. They get to hear our thoughts. They get to hear Lady J. They get to hear me and Lady J disagree. They get to hear me and you disagree, or me and you communicate. They get to hear me with Sister Cynthia. And there's other children out there right now that's hearing this. And this type of dialogue and this type of conversation will be moved into the next generation because we're going to have passionate people. But we're going to temper that with some of the lessons from Laws of Power and from the handbooks of Gye-Nyame and from the other organizations that's out there, so that our children are able to deal with it. Because the only thing I'm concerned about is, for me, is making sure that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing in this moment so that my children, because I already realized that my life is no longer mine. I am just fertilizer for them. And I want to make sure that I'm the best fertilizer so that they could grow and they could have some positive, strong fruit, because through one of those fruit, I'm coming back. And I ain't got time to be, I really ain't got time to be worried about everybody else. I really don't. Because I spent my life worrying about everybody else, worrying about being universal, worrying about fitting in, all that shit. I ain't got time for it no more. I don't give a fuck about the white boy at the courthouse. I don't give a fuck about a lot of shit happening to other motherfuckers. What I care about is that I have a group of individuals that can trace their lineage back 6 generations. And what people are telling us is basically you are broke and you are struggling because your people didn't work hard enough. They was lazy. That is the message that's coming across to me. That's the message that's coming across to my children. And I got to smash that motherfucking narrative because there was government interference in that shit the whole time. And that shit pisses me off. So we come up with all these other arguments. And all these other people and feeling for all these other people. I don't give a fuck. I love everybody, don't get me wrong, and I work with anybody. But I need y'all to understand that being 50 years old and looking at my young people coming up right now and realizing the world I'm about to launch them in, I feel I have a burden on me, man. It's fucking me up because my kids is going in not even knowing who they are and honestly believing that because their ancestors was lazy, that they ain't got shit. When they turn 16 years old, they can't get a car, not because their parents don't want to give them a car, but because there's no inheritance in the motherfucking family, and their parents don't make enough motherfucking money. There's no house for them to get. And we got people sitting up here, and we talking about other people, and we talking about the gays, we talking about everybody else, and we got people coming in on our coattails trying to run for president and win presidents and shit, and we lifting motherfuckers up that never lifted us up. Please, no, I can't calm down.
One of the things that I had to come to the realization of was one of the toughest realizations for me, but once I really understood it, it allowed me, it provided me freedom and to push back on it. I realized that I was replaceable. Period. I think that I got a lot of... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm glad you're still here. I was actually I was wondering if you was here. Yeah, let me finish. I'll make it quick. I was just going to say that I realized that I was replaceable, and that was a humbling thing. You know, I think that I do bring a very unique skill set and a very unique set of experience to the table, and it's probably not something that happens often. You get a person that was genuinely grew up in the street, and dropped out of high school and then went and got a bachelor's degree, you know what I mean? But it is genuinely educated now and genuinely has a passion for education. It has all of these very seemingly these experiences that wouldn't necessarily seem to go together. So I realized that my perspective is rare and valuable, but it is very reproducible, replicable. It's going to happen again. There's plenty of me all over the place, you know? That shit was humbling.
But the question that we have to answer for me, Kwesi, is do we have the time? Do you know how many brothers like you I had to replace?
Can I jump in real quick, Hatim?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to ask that you not get upset with me.
I'm not going to promise. I can't promise.
I want to point 2 things out really fast. The first thing is whenever I made the point about police brutality and this whole idea that white people are socialized to fear blacks through mass media, I did not bring up the question someone else on the line posed a question: who engages, disrespects, or tries to cause issues with the police, more young black people or young white people? So I did not bring that into the narrative. And the only thing that I said was that it would behoove if I'm arguing that the purpose behind them, if I'm arguing that there's an agenda or reason why we are bombarded with the one and not informed of the other, it's by design, right? So I just want to throw that out there. I am just like you, and I've said this many times on this show, that I cannot, every time if I bring up black on black violence, someone will say, well, white people kill white people, and then I am the one that says, well, I don't even fucking care, because I don't live amongst white people. I live amongst black people. I don't have to attend white people's funerals. I don't have to know that these children that are dying are my friends' children, right? Or that these children that are dying, my friends' children, are actually in prison for killing them, right? They're not affecting my community. They're not affecting me. So I too believe that it should not be a part of our discussion. But I wanted to. My whole point earlier was to say that if indeed if by any chance I'm right, and there's an agenda or a reason why we were bombarded with those images, which again, it made me think of modern day lynching. It made me think of lynching. And if my hypothesis were correct, right, it would make sense why we never hear other people who may be harassed and targeted.
This is the thing, ladies. I have to say this. So even based off what I was telling you yesterday, one thing that I know probably better, the tactics of a female Pisces, I know better probably than any other gender zodiac. Because I grew up, I was raised by a female Pisces, so I know the tactics to a T. So I know what you just did. We stopped talking about the issue. We were talking about how we were talking. So you went back to talking about the issue when you did it in the sense of trying to get us. Let me finish. Because you did it too. You were courting sympathy, and I get it. I do. Based off of what you told me yesterday, I get it. But at the same time, you got to realize that you brought your ideas into a public forum. So you have to realize that people are going to come at your ideas. So you got to separate your ideas from your emotions, because what you just did was set yourself up for failure. You attached your ideas to your emotional state. So if I come at your ideas, then you're going to feel offended. And that's the thing that...
No, what I just heard was...
That's exactly what just happened. That is literally... And the fact that you're talking still is proof that I am right. Because you're not willing to... You didn't even allow it to hit you. You started responding too fast. You got to sit there and actually chop that shit up in your own head. Because this is happening in a public forum. And you're going to just... I'm a fucking thinker. I sit back, I listen, I dissect, and then I represent. So if you think that you can just break down and dismiss what I just said that quick, then you're insulting my ability to analyze.
I'm not dismissing what you just said. I'm telling you, I'm not responding to what was said a while ago. I'm responding to what Hatim just said when he went on his rant. That's what I'm responding to. So I just want to make that known. I'm not responding to
the word rant is
a rant. I go on rant all the time. What do you mean?
Just listen. See, that shit gets too frustrating for me, because it's too emotional. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you're putting emotions out front of your point. I got to get through the emotions before I can intellectualize, before we can have an intellectual conversation. And that's cool. I get it. In certain spaces, that shit is necessary. But in other times, that's taken away from the progress of what is being created here. And if you can't, then you're kind of putting yourself in a dangerous position for somebody like Harriet. I just found out that Harriet Tubman was an Aquarius, and that is a very Aquarian thing. Whether it be your point, whether it be physically. Motherfuckers might have to die that's on our team. You see what I'm saying? If they aren't capable of contributing their gift in a way that's useful to the team. You know what I'm saying? That shit has to be useful to the team. So if you're still, it's just like I was talking about, it's not for me to present what your challenge is because I see it. You know what I mean? But it's not for me. If I tell it to you, then it's like, I done defeated your battle. So that's your battle, is to figure that shit out and then to figure out what to do with it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, for it to be coming up in our building sessions, I think it will behoove you to even go back and listen to this conversation on your own, critically, because there's a lot of jewels where you are valuable. But there, like I was saying before, there are other people that bring it to the table. But like Tim was saying, we don't have time to be developed for other people because you are the forefront of what you do at this point in time. But that shit gotta be useful.
Now, I'm just gonna say this. You call it I did my rant, but my rant wasn't personalized. It ain't because you're not the only one that think like you think, and the way you think is not the only danger that we have. If it's even considered a danger, I did my rant. That's it. I did my motherfucking rant. Now I believe in the proverb or the story that says that when you throw the rock into a pack of wolves, the one that yelps is the one that get hit. I threw a goddamn rock. Right? And like I said, where it landed. But we ain't got to rehash that shit. I'm just telling you, man, because I'm real bothered. For me, because it's like we are telling our children that they're not working hard enough. And we're telling ourselves that we wasn't working hard enough. But
that's my second point that I want
to
bring up.
Stop!
Real quick.
Stop! No. Hold on. Stop. Y'all hear my baby? See, that's she telling me to calm down. So I'm going to do the best that I can. But we got a new caller on. I want to make sure that the caller be heard. Of course, it's from the 614. And you're sitting on the line nice and quiet and you've been patient. Go and get your words out. And then, Lady J, you going to say your thing. How about the 353? You there? You better say something or you might not never get a chance. 353.
Oh, that's me.
Who is that?
It's Cynthia.
Oh.
I don't know what happened. Like my call got dropped and then I just called back.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's me. Yeah. Right. I don't know what happened. It said the stream had ended.
No.
Then I called back and I got right back in.
They trying to squeeze more money out of me. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? All this shit that we do, that we run on Gye-Nyame Journey costs money. So they always trying to squeeze. Okay, you need to up your package to this package so that you can handle the amount of data that you're streaming right now. Y'all think the shit is serious. It costs us every time we do this. We do these shows. So go ahead, Lady J. Unless Sister Cynthia got something she want to share. You better.
No, I'm just listening.
Go ahead, Lady J.
So I wanted to go back to what I had brought up earlier, because you just were talking about like this narrative that is, basically, promoted, right? So one thing that I adore about my current position that I have is that the principal did allow me to come in and when she interviewed me, she made mention of what they do, and I said, we did that at my old school, and they had the teachers lead, and she gave me a vision, and then she allowed me free reign, right? And so one thing that we do every day, first thing in the morning, every day we have some type of theme, right? But down to the speakers that come in and address our kids, right? Down to the videos that we watch, the messages that we listen to. I just finished my whole program for Black History Month. And it was funny because one of the teachers who wants to be, she's been teaching a lot longer, she wanted the theme of Black History Month to be Motown. And so we had this committee meeting, and I said, well, that's not possible. And she said, why? I said, because do you know how many things we must cover in those days during Black History Month? Now, mind you, I do the programming, so we get Black History 365. But during Black History Month, it's a time to celebrate. There's lots of things we're going to need to cover. We're going to need to cover science, right? We're going to need to cover Black first. We're going to need to cover Blacks in sports. I even learned so much this year, every year, even for Women's History Month, Asian Pacific Heritage Month, I learned so much in the research, in planning, and putting these, it's our morning town hall, putting this together. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, when we look at the grades that our school has received, and the fact that in 1 year they were able to turn it around and go from all F to all A's, and that we are one of 4 middle schools in Columbus City Schools that has a C on the report card, that after failing miserably for year after year after year after year, we were able to turn it around. We know that that we cannot say that everything is because these teachers are so fabulous. That's not why these kids are performing. What's happening is the kids are engaging in programming that gives them a sense of pride, that really gives them a history, gives them a different narrative, and that may not be, it is not the narrative in our textbooks. Sometimes they get upset. The first thing I teach my students is the difference between primary and secondary sources, and the fact that the person who wrote the textbook, they had an agenda, they had a bias, right? And then when we read, we have to question that author. We have to go back and we have to look at our primary sources. Case in point, in one of the textbooks used in, I know in Whitehall City Schools and Westerville City Schools, there's a chapter on slavery, and in that chapter, the author actually states that that it would not have made sense for the slave owners to beat their slaves since they were such valuable property and since they needed them work. And I'm summarizing this, but that's what it says in the textbook. Like, I'm reading this textbook with the students, and that's what it says, and immediately I have to go get Frederick Douglass' autobiography, and I have to turn to a page, and I have to read his account, right? And I have to ask them, whose account are we going to take? But all that to say, in the classroom, the teachers go by the curriculum, and some of them go by the curriculum in everything that is suggested. Some of them are more creative, like myself, and we know that we can use anything to meet those standards. But during every morning, having almost 500 students sit in the auditorium, listening and get the same message, listening and getting to see a lot of our successes, the great things about us, right? And the truth about those who colonized us, it instills a sense of pride, which is why our school is at the forefront. It is why we are contending with Ridgeview, we are contending with Dominion, and we are contending with the gifted school. That's it. And we are in the inner city. Not only that, we're the only ESL shelter site. All kids that need support in English language learning come to our school. So we got kids that don't even speak English, but we're still managing to produce. And it comes through programming. And that's why I am obsessed somewhat with this idea of propaganda, because I know, and the last thing I'm going to say, the first year I taught third grade, right? I went to college. I'm going to be a middle school teacher. The first job they give me is third grade. I'm not taught now, after going back to school, I know how to teach phonics and things of that sort. But as a middle school teacher, you are taught to teach children how to comprehend what they read and not how to read, right? And so I go into a third grade classroom. The first year that they start giving these kids the third grade guarantee test, teachers were fleeing because they did not want that to be a part of their evaluation, right? And so I go into this third grade classroom, and out of all the students I taught two different groups, so two different classrooms because they would switch. I taught reading and science. I had one student fail, right? One student, this is the first year they gave the test. And the teachers thought that I had did something amazing, that I was this wonderful reading teacher. And really what I did, I did a whole bunch of psychology. I would tell them, you already passed this test. You know what to do. I gave them the strategies to unleash, right? But it was strategies I taught them. I knew that I was a first-year teacher and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But one thing I knew how to do is I could motivate. I could instill a sense of hope. I could instill a sense of pride, right? And that's what got those kids to pass the test. You know what I'm saying? So when we're thinking about what you said was absolutely right. It is sad that these messages that are put on TV and the way our kids are socialized, because then it becomes looking glass self. I look at myself and I wonder how others perceive me, and then I act accordingly versus us taking control of our own images, right? Which is why propaganda is so important. And that's all I want to say. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Anybody want to follow that up? All right, family, we've been on here almost 3 hours. Actually, we've been here 3 hours. And at this point in time, I just need to go indulge a habit and calm the fuck down. 'Cause my daughter coming out, she's like, Daddy, calm down. Daddy, calm down. And it's like, yo, I might need to stop the conversation part and just go and do a motherfucking, I don't know. But anybody else got anything they want to cover?
Nah, I was just thinking about the Sensei Sasha over there, the young Yoda. I need to keep them. I need to go back to the drawing board. But she is definitely, she's been here before. But just the interactions be having me thinking, man, about. So I was talking to Aaron. Remember Aaron?
Right.
We've been developing our conversation just about the whole electricity piece, man, because he really put on me realizing how humans been using electricity for thousands of years, you know. Obviously, just because when you think about what electricity is and how humans could probably, one of the initial ways, the earliest ways is probably through water and gravity, using the flow of water and aqueducts and stuff like that. But then at a certain point in time, they come to the realization that chemicals could be used, because ultimately what you need to create electricity is friction, and what you need to create friction is movement. So at a certain point in time, they came to the realization that you can create movement by combining certain chemicals. And I would imagine that they came to that realization by dissecting a human body and probably removing organs after they had passed away. And then taking those acids and fluids that were in certain organs and seeing what they do and how they interact with each other, and then coming to realize the different functions of the body, and then seeing how these chemicals play a part. And they probably came to the basic realization that the human body is just an electrical chemical plant. And the electrical part is so this is my analysis now. The electrical part is thoughts, and the chemical part is emotions, feelings. And when we have a feeling, it's automatic. When we experience something like fear, is the most primal emotion. Adrenaline is released into our bloodstream, and it gives us extra energy to think quicker, primarily. And then through those quicker thoughts, because it also takes blood away from the other non-essential organs, the digestive organs, and it provides all of that extra blood goes to the brain, straight to the brain, so the brain can think better. Electrical signals, all of the electricity, all the chemical processes are still in the thought processes. So that's all the battery is. It's sulfuric acid being combined with some other chemical to create movement, to create an electric charge. So that is when certain people, Pisces and Aquarius, might represent some of the biggest polar differences in which of those functions are like the underlying drive of those two people. Like, just listening to how Tim and Lady J interact, there's a lot of chemical reactions happen. A lot of, like, something is presented and then something is released into the bloodstream that increases the energy in that way. But the Aquarians on the line weren't as chemically impacted by some of the things that the Pisceans were chemically energized by. So if we could just think along those lines, we could get a better understanding of that than amongst so many other things. That's why I posted on Facebook earlier today. I said, what did I say? Lean not to thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him. That's a biblical verse that people, I think, in our culture have come to think means the exact opposite of what it actually means. They're saying that lean not to thy own understanding means don't think, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and they're taking that to mean just rely on the religious stuff that you've been taught your whole life. But that is leaning to thine meaning human shit. The science is him. Him is science. Science is the reproducible fact of existence, the gravity, the fact that movement creates electricity every single fucking time. If shit doesn't happen once, then it's not a universal law. So a woman coming from a man's rib is fucking stupid. But it's metaphorical. What that shit means, and I might be a little bit all over the place, it means that the man has to figure himself out before he can seek a woman. If a man seeks out a woman while he's still trying to figure his own self out, then he's going to fuck it all up. Maybe not right away. He might fuck up shit for generationally. They might have a bunch of kids and never really get to that place where they're firing on all cylinders and creating a harmonious union. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows that the feminine or the emotional or the chemical comes first. We know it through our being. You have a feeling and then you have a thought to respond to the feeling that you had. The universe is a black female, literally. It's darkness, and it is the place where things are birthed out of. It is literally a black female. The first, a chemical process. First it was hydrogen. Hydrogen broke down, then you had helium, and on and on and on. These things, that's how the Big Bang is a fact. Whether it happened with a boom or all of these things, that's why the periodic table is a fact. That's why these things are reproducible. You can see how these things play out in nature. But then we want to deviate and get away from that type of shit. Then we're leaning to our own understanding. I just went all over the place.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Anybody else want to have some closing words?
Closing words. This was a good conversation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you to all the listeners that people just out there listening, tuning in, and thank you for the platform for everybody to share, and hopefully get everyone else to engage in some critical thinking. So.
Think, family, think. You don't got to agree with me. Think. I don't give a fuck. Think. But I'm coming. When this time I'm coming, I'm letting y'all know. Lady J, you got some closing words? 10 more seconds, Lady J. You got any closing words?
I'm sorry, I was just sitting there talking and nobody could hear me. Just reminding everyone that we are in the midst of the Great Awakening. Do something today and every day in support of the movement. Read. I want to read this in 42 Laws of Power. I want to finish that book.
48
so read a book article. Donate to a cause. Volunteer your time and or services. Especially remembering that at our rec centers, they are looking for programming. It would be nice to get our youth involved in some, like some horticulture. I even thought about like sewing and knitting. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that I learned when I was little, double dutch, things like that. We had all that at the rec center, and it's time that we bring that back and put the unity back in our community. Always remember that our social media networks are our platforms. We should use them to enlighten and inform. Always participate politically, sign a petition, march, plan a peaceful protest, and always boycott. Remember, if we want change, we have to learn how to keep more of it in our pockets. That's it for me.
All right, family, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for joining us. Joining the congregation of the mighty, and realize here your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Anime! Damn it, eat the cake! Anime! This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Thank you. This is a Heart of a Summer production. And of course, you know we just did another daily toast and talk. Toast and talk. Heart of a Summer production. But we strive to blow up all your old paradigms. Family, I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we will once again pull out our shovels so that we can do some wisdom mining. And sometimes our shovels cross and we clash. But shit, it's about thinking. Alright, family? So we are out. I'm saying peace.
Stay on the line.
How you say stay on the line? Hold on. Let me get us off.